I need to make another mix one day, man. I made a mix in a minute.
Oh shit, we live now? We in the building?
Yeah, we are really in the building.
Literally in the building today. Me and Figgy podcasting from the same location for the first time in like
first time this year, ain't
it? Definitely. Like we've done an interview here, but as far as doing a podcast in the same room, it's been a minute, to say the least.
Yeah,
but we are back at it. Probably due to some miscommunication, but it's all good. We still in it, man. Yeah. So a lot going on this week, man. Shit. What up, everybody in stream world? Everybody on YouTube? Everybody on Twitch? Everybody on Facebook? Everybody on Twitter? Everybody on anything else we streaming on? And of course, the loyal podcast listeners yourself. We are back in the building, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally in the building. A lot going on, a lot to catch up on. We skipped last week because, look, niggas got to work, okay?
Yeah.
We got jobs. Look, if y'all want to donate to the podcast, we can do the podcast every single week.
Yeah.
Okay? If y'all want this to be our only job, we will deliver you at least one podcast a week.
I know.
Maybe two.
I know. I had to get this quick money, man. I ain't even gonna lie.
All of us got to, we all got to work, man. I got to work some fucking football games. You got to do your own thing. Look, if y'all want a consistent every single week podcast, donate to the cause, okay?
Yeah.
Pay our salary, and we will definitely podcast every week. But until then, sometimes we just got shit to do, man. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
But your niece up in here. What up, Diasha?
Diasha, what's going on?
Let's hold off the sports talk now. I was going to go right into that.
I know. Let's get into the juicy stuff.
Shit, so a lot going on, man. A lot to catch up on. A lot of things going on in hip hop, sports, everything world right now. It's been crazy. It's been a crazy couple of weeks. That's actually just been a crazy last 3 days.
Yeah.
But everything together has been kind of crazy, man. So let's just get to the personal check first. Figgy, how you been? Last we talked, the NFL season hadn't even started yet. Now
if you living in Houston, the season damn near over.
Yeah,
we already talking about quarterbacks.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough now. The Texans are 0-1-1. They tied for the first time ever.
Yeah.
But your Browns are looking kind of good, man. I don't know. They just won on Thursday Night Football.
Against the Steelers, man, which is their Super Bowl.
Yeah, oh, shit. I mean, Jacoby Brissett looking good, man. I got to say, maybe they ain't missing on this show.
Yeah, I think we need to pump the brakes on that, man.
Dog, did you see the corniest thing? Everybody's been pumping up this fucking Amazon Prime Thursday Night Football thing. The corniest shit I saw that they did is they had Chad Ochocinco come out.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's like the Madden rating adjuster.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous in itself. I don't think he even plays Madden that much. I think he's more a FIFA.
Yeah.
But they had him come out and said, okay, Jacoby Brissett, since you the player of the game, we gonna adjust your pass rating up to 1. So it's 91 instead of 90. Like, what the fuck?
That was so stupid, man.
It was so awkward because Jacoby don't even play the game. So he didn't know what the fuck they were talking about.
He low-key an old ass man.
Yeah.
So he don't care about none of that stuff. And I don't think other people do.
That shit is so condescending, man. Saying, oh, you had a good game, so we going to adjust your ratings after this one. That's so reactionary, number one.
Yes.
And number two is very condescending. Like, fucking, there had to be something better you could do for a player than say, I'm going to adjust your Madden rating.
Yeah. Yeah, that was goofy, man.
It was so silly, man.
And you could tell it was so awkward, too, because I don't know if it was planned or what, because the other players like, oh, yeah, remember I played with you and blah, 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 blah. And then the other offensive line was like, yeah, I remember you real well because you got into a fight on the field and I had to come break it up and I ended up getting a $25,000 fine. And I was just like, what the fuck is going on? And Jacoby was just sitting there looking awkward as hell because they're having a whole nother conversation. So I'm like, man, what is going on?
I was cringing too much, man. I had to look away. I had to go do something else because that shit was super cringy.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, the Browns have won 2 games. They 2-1 now, I believe.
They should be 3-0.
Yeah,
because
they had the loss was close, man.
Yeah, they and then the Jets game, they had that game. That was probably the worst loss I ever seen.
Yeah,
because they had a 99.9% chance to win that game.
Yeah,
and they blew it.
Man, Geno Smith, man, he ain't no joke.
He don't play for them. That was Joe Flacco.
Oh, well, you're talking about back in the day. Okay.
I'm talking about the Jets.
Wait, who did Geno Smith play for?
He played for the Jets.
Why am I thinking he played for the Jets now? Who does he play for now?
Seattle.
That's right. I'm confused. See, this is how much football I watch, man. That's
Geno
not
Smith
Texans related.
He ain't played for the Jets
in a long time. Yeah, I know. I don't know why I thought Geno Smith was still on the Jets, man. I heard his name again. I was like, oh, you must. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm mixed up, man. It's been a long fucking day. But so how do you feel about the Browns and how do you feel about the Texans being your current team that you're covering? Just general thoughts, man.
I think the Browns is I think they're in a good spot. Now I do think they play some easier games, but I think what Jacoby Brissett is doing right now, he's doing what Baker Mayfield should have been doing. Kind of taking care of the ball, not doing too much, rely on the run game. But the only thing with Baker Mayfield, this dude would throw an interception where it's like, damn, like the game is over now. And he'll get behind where, he have to throw them into a game, which he can't do. So Jacoby Brissett, he real, I don't want to say laid back, but he don't like to make a lot of mistakes. So you ain't about to see him taking a big ass risk or anything like that. So I think he's perfect right now. I don't know how long this is gonna last because he got 8 more games or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he's gonna play like this for the rest of those games. But I think so far right now, I think it's looking like a good choice. But as far as the Texans, man, I think I know it's the third game, but this Bears game I think it's a must win for the Texans.
Oh, definitely.
Because if they lose this game, I don't know if they can win any game because the Bears is one of the worst teams in the league. And if they can't beat Justin Fields and the Bears, then it's going to be a long season for the Texans, man. And the talk, everything going to be discussed at this point. The whole Davis Mills, should he be the quarterback? And we're going to be looking at more college, try to see a fire ass quarterback. So
to me, I feel like the Texans season, I know it's super early, but I think the season is lost, man. And it's just me saying, as a person who had to sit through every single minute of the preseason and these last 2 games, that last game was one of the worst I've ever had to sit through, dog. I almost fell asleep so many times.
Was that worse than the first game, the Colts game where they tied?
Yeah, because you always felt like in that game, the Texans were a play away.
Yeah.
With this game, I just felt like even though the score was close with the Broncos and the Broncos kept fucking up, I just had no faith that the Texans were actually going to score a touchdown, man.
Look, I ain't going to lie. I got a little confession, man. So that last play of the Broncos game where Davis Mills was trotting out on the field, I was thinking in my head, like, this game is over, man. He is not about to do shit. In that moment, I was thinking like, damn, man, I can't believe they traded Deshaun Watson. At that point, if I knew the quarterback situation was going to be that bad, I would have been up for paying Deshaun a little more to stick around, man. Like, I know he wanted out, but I wouldn't be like, hey, man, I'll give you $200 guaranteed, man, if you just stick around.
You sound like Larry and Stafford, man. I know. You going a full Larry now,
look,
dog.
I was the one that wanted to move on, but seeing how this looks, I just had no faith in the quarterback, man. I was just like, damn, they're way down there. He ain't about to. He won't even get them into field goal position.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, man, this is over, man. If it was Deshaun, he would have did shit his own.
Yeah.
So I was just so deflated. I'm just like, man. But I would have tried to talk to. I don't know if they tried to talk to Deshaun, but I would have been like, hey, man, we'll give you a little extra. We know it's a rebuild. We know you're not. we know you're not really happy right now, but we'll give you a little extra. And I feel like he probably would have took the 200 guaranteed if it was early on.
I don't think it was about the money, man. I just don't. Because they already gave him a new contract that he ain't even played a minute of, dog. It couldn't have been about the money.
So do you think he would turn down 200 guaranteed if the Texans offered that before it just got out of control?
If you're saying that before the cases came in.
Not before the cases.
Okay.
But I'm talking because, he sat the whole season. But let's say before, let's say during training camp, they try to negotiate something so he can actually go to training camp and play and be the starting quarterback. You think if they would have negotiated something like, hey, let's redo this contract, let's give you 200 guaranteed, do you think he'd be like, all right, you know what? Screw it, I play.
I don't think so.
Really?
I think he was. I don't think it was about the money, man. Because he just signed the fact that he just signed a contract, and the fact that before the season started, he said he wanted out. And then the cases came, like the snowball was just so much that I don't think any amount of money would have kept him in Houston, man. There's too much bad blood now. There's too much, all the drama. It's not even just the team now. I feel like Deshaun Watson now probably relates like the worst time of his life to Houston, Texas.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So he just needed to get away.
Yeah.
At this point. So I don't think anything could have made him stay in Houston, man. So it's unfortunate because, now, because look, I feel the same way now that James Harden left. Everybody was like, let's move. Yeah, let's move on and rebuild. This is what a fucking rebuild looks like, man.
Yeah.
It's rough to watch and it's going to be a lot of losing.
Yeah.
So the Rockets are in the exact same spot.
Yeah.
But at least they have somebody who you think will be the future, have the potential to be that. The Texans, they don't have nobody, man. It's rough.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is damn near year one of the rebuild because they didn't have no draft picks the previous year because they didn't trade Deshaun. So this is technically year one. So it's going to be a long season, man.
It's going to be super long, man. Yes. I don't have any faith that they can beat the Bears if it was a home game, maybe, but is it at Bears Stadium? I just don't have any faith it's going to happen, man. I don't think they can move the ball at all. I feel like I'm just watching a rerun of last season, man.
Yeah.
Without Tyrod Taylor to give you a little bit of hope.
Yeah.
So I just have no faith that they can actually come back after losing a lead or being down in the game. So, yeah, man, I don't think they'll go 0-17. I think they'll win at least a couple games, but it's going to be a rough season, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be bad. I already know.
Yeah. And the crazy part is I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if Davis Mills come back as a starting quarterback the following year, the way it's going, man.
I don't understand why they love him so much.
That's what I don't get. It's a third-round pick, man. Yeah. That's found money, man.
And not just that, they didn't bring anybody in to compete with him.
That's when I knew. I'm like, all right, they trying to roll with him because they didn't make it a quarterback competition at all. And I think it should have been. He had 5 games last year when he was actually playing all right. I don't think that was worth the starting quarterback position.
He didn't earn it, man. Yeah, he didn't earn it.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield had to go through a starting a damn quarterback competition.
Yeah.
So, and I think it was a bunch of people out there that was better than Davis. I think they could have
rolled the right dice on Jimmy Garoppolo, man.
Yeah,
like somebody.
Yeah, I think anybody at this point. I know. During the off season, we was like, no to Baker Mayfield, no to Jimmy G, no to all these random other players, but all of those players are better than Davis Mills right now, man. Baker Mayfield probably would have won 2 games. Yeah. They would have been 2-0 at least with Baker Mayfield the way the other teams was playing.
It's bad all around, man. Like I wanted to spare the black head coaches as well. I wanted to love Lovie Smith, but his decision making in the Colts tie was just what the hell is going on, man. That was very confusing. Pep, I don't know if we've seen enough to know this all his fault with the play calling. It could just be a lack of talent, but I don't know, man. It's just bad all around. Yeah. It's going to be a long season, like you said. So,
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah, it's only week 3, man. So
yeah,
do you think they're gonna win this week?
I don't see it happening, man. What's the Bears' record right now? How many games have they won?
Actually, 1-1, I want to say. Yeah, they beat San Francisco and they lost to Green Bay, who are two pretty good teams.
Okay.
But Justin Fields have not looked good this year.
Yeah, no. Okay, they're scoring low.
Yeah.
But I feel like their 19 against the 49ers is more than the Texans can put up.
Yeah. So Justin Fields and Davis Mills are 2 of the worst quarterbacks in the league right now.
Yeah,
Justin Fields only threw 7 passes last game or 13 he threw a low number of passes. So they clearly don't trust him. But they do have they have some running backs.
Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be a shitty ass game to watch. I already know. I'm not looking for. I gotta get some no doge or something, man.
Yeah,
do a line or something. It's gonna be hard to stay awake through that game. I already know.
Yeah, you gotta do like other people say. Just bet on the game somehow. See if both of the teams can score over 20 together, and just kind of make it interesting like that, man.
It's rough. I can't bet on games, man.
I can't either,
just
man.
Can't.
I can't either.
Like football is already stressful enough when you're rooting for a team. To have actual money on it, like I wouldn't even be able to watch the games, man. I would be too stressed out.
Yeah, I'm not even a fan of fantasy football, man. I played it 1 year. I'm just like, man, I ain't got time for this shit, man. Yeah, and people be so upset with certain players and coaches. Like, why the fuck he do this? And so
my fantasy points. I just don't give a shit, man. I can't.
Well, I got him with my fantasy team. I'm just like, man, who gives a shit? But I might be the lone one that don't play it. So
no, I don't either. But like, I think I'm in a league now with my friend because he was begging me basically, but I don't even check on it, man. I don't care. Like I did it a couple years and I was like, this is corny. By the end of the season, I just didn't give a shit every single time I played it. So I was like, whatever, man.
Yeah.
Speaking about blood pressure, man, do you ever get your Modern Warfare 2 beta code working?
Oh, yeah. I got it working. So apparently I can only play it if I got somebody else online, right?
What do you mean?
It's from what I've seen, it was only multiplayer.
Yeah, it's multiplayer. Yeah.
Really? Oh, okay. So I ain't get that far. I got it on, I got it working, but I ain't get that far.
You didn't play a game?
I didn't play.
You just started it to see if it worked, but you didn't play anything?
No, it was multiplayer. I didn't think I could play multiplayer with just me.
No, dog, you join a lobby and it puts you against random people.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. I had no idea. I thought I was going to play the little story mode.
No, dog. I should explain it to you.
I know.
But the beta or multiplayer game is always just going to be multiplayer. They never do a beta. They'll do like a demo made for a single player game. But the beta is always going to mean like they're trying to make sure the multiplayer works right.
Okay.
That shit ain't too overpowered, that there ain't no glitches or crashing. So that's why they do the beta for multiplayer games. So yeah, you could join and just get into a team deathmatch and they'll put you against random people.
Okay.
I played it for a night and I couldn't play it no more, dog.
What, did you suck at it or
dog, it's too stressful, man. It's too stressful. Like I remember, like I'm too old to get my blood pressure up that much. It was cool when I was like 20 something.
Yeah.
But now, dog, it's like it's too stressful when you get killed. Like you it's like the highs and the lows.
Yeah.
You kill like 3 people in a row, you feel like fucking Rambo.
Yeah.
Then one person kills you, like this game is fucking cheating.
Yeah,
it gets on your nerves, man.
Yeah, I'm not really that good with shooter games like that.
Yeah,
like shit, I was getting my ass whooped in Grand Theft Auto. Like I'm over here. I'm probably the only dumbass sitting there trying to complete missions, do all that shit, and motherfuckers just killing me. I'm just like, what? I'm like, what happened? And I keep seeing the same dude just killing me. I'm like, dang. So I got to the point. I'm like, all right, I'm about to light his ass up. Like, dude came around, bloop, lit his ass up. I felt better by that
Of course, man.
But I'm like, this Grand Theft Auto. This ain't no fucking Call of Duty. Like, they was playing that like it was Call of Duty.
Yeah, people don't give a fuck, man. They just there to kill people. I don't think you even get any bonuses for killing random people either.
I know, yeah. So
people just want to make your online life miserable.
Yeah.
What up, Pablo Fernandez? We'll see you on Facebook, man. Shout out to Pablo.
Pablo, what up?
So yeah, that does it for our Modern Warfare 2. Hopefully we get another NFL player on the Modern Warfare 2 when the game comes out. We had Mark Ingram last time. Hopefully get somebody else.
Yeah.
Pablo said you got to be quiet before he wakes his kids up. Your kids are asleep before 9 o'clock on a Friday.
You got some good kids, man.
I'm about to say, like, how old are your kids, man? Are they like 5 and below? I know they like 13 and shit. They ain't in bed yet. But shit, good for them.
Man, my bedtime used to be 10 o'clock.
Dog.
Like when the news used to come on at 10. And the news come on, it's time to go to bed.
When I was a kid, on Friday, we could stay up as long as we wanted.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Monday through Thursday, like we had a strict like 8 or 9 o'clock bedtime.
Damn.
But I remember like on Fridays, we'd be staying up. I'd be watching Space Ghost Coast to Coast, like late night on Cartoon Network. We'd be watching the dog races on like all this random shit that comes on regular TV late at night. Your kids are 7, 8, and 12. Okay. They're all close together too. So that was a good bedtime for them.
Remember back in the day, was you the ones that used to sneak up and watch BET Uncut?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, that was a good time, man. Yeah. Sitting there watching BET Uncut, some random ass videos. And
when I didn't have cable on Channel 8 PBS here, we had a show called Street Flavor. And now it show like a bunch of underground, like you see like Houston videos, like Big Mo and Lil Kiki, and a bunch of dope shit. I would stay up to watch that. That'll come on late at night.
Damn.
But I'll stay up to watch that. But yeah, I definitely watch BET Uncut. RIP BET Uncut.
Yeah.
I heard they're bringing it back at some point, but it's like, why?
Yeah, everything is uncut at this point. You could go to World Star. I don't even know if they still have World Star.
They do, but it's not nobody cares anymore.
Yeah. Man, you could just watch a City Girls video and see everything.
It's funny because they just did I don't know if it was an anniversary of the end of BET Uncut, but I want to say Complex did it, but it was a documentary on like the end of BET Uncut and what happened to it. And dog, looking back, like what killed it really was a tip drill video by Nelly.
Yes.
But looking back at that video, number one, they've wiped it away from the fucking internet. You got to look on some other sites. It's not on YouTube.
Damn, I ain't realized that.
You can't find the uncensored video just on YouTube. Damn. Which is weird because they got worse videos on YouTube.
Yes.
Like you say, any Cardi B video, Nicki Minaj video.
WAP.
Yeah, they got straight naked women on these videos and shit. And looking back, the tip drill video was not that bad. Dog.
A lot of those videos wasn't that bad.
Dog, they had congressmen, Oprah. Everybody who's making, I can't believe he slid a credit card down a woman's ass. Dog, they acted like that shit was the end of the world when it happened. And now look where we are.
Yeah.
If somebody put that video out, it would get like maybe 500 views.
That video can play on BET right now with no problem. It can play on BET on a Sunday. At
4 p.m. right after school.
Right after TD Jakes. Yep. That can come on right after TD Jakes with no problem.
Yep. Street Flavor was on WB 39. I thought it was on Channel 8 for some reason. But yeah, but it probably was on 39. But yeah, Street Flavor was a classic show, man. I always missed that. I love that show back in the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, speaking of music and shit, a lot of stuff came out. Not a whole lot in terms of like big mainstream stuff. But we did have some singles, some albums come out that we both listened to. I guess we'll start with this Cardi B and Glorilla song, which is like the biggest song out right now. It's called Tomorrow 2. It's basically what you would expect from a Glorilla and Cardi B song. Is a video as well. Is like drill type shit going on. Of course, they posted up on the block, a lot of ass shaking, a lot of gun little fucking movements and shit. You know how it goes. So Figgy, what do you think about this video and song? Are you rolling with it or what?
I actually like it. I'm a big fan of Glorilla, man.
Okay.
I don't know what it is, but I guess it's something different. It's something different outside of City Girls and Cardi B. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Glorilla, man. I kind of like the way she blew up out of nowhere, pretty much. And you could tell this wasn't like a factory type of, industry plant.
Yeah.
It seemed like that song just took off out of nowhere, and she was still like, you could tell she wasn't even media trained or anything. And it just took off, man. So I'm a big fan of her and her success. I like the song. To me, this Cardi B verse, that was probably one of her best verses in a minute to me, because she released a lot of stuff and it didn't really hit. But to me, this one, it seemed like this one kind of helped her a little bit. Maybe hopping on one of the hottest female artists out right now, that kind of helped a little bit. But I like the song. I like the video. I think it's cool. It's nothing spectacular about it, but I think it's cool. I think it's good to see Glorilla getting a song with Cardi B this early.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people can't get the song with Cardi B this early. So I'm happy for her, man.
Yeah, me too. Honestly, the song didn't really do nothing for me. I'm not a huge fan of Glorilla. Like, she just sounds like a female version of generic trap music to me. But I'm happy that, I like the story. I like the come up, the organic come up and all that. Like, I'm happy that girls got something they can get grizzy too. I guess some grimy drill shit coming from a woman. It's cool. I have no problem with it. The song wasn't really for me personally, but I'm cool with it. I had no problem with it. But yeah, I got to give Cardi B props, man, because she learned from Nicki Minaj's mistakes, I feel. Like Cardi B could easily see Glorilla as like her competition. But the fact that she immediately collaborated with the next up and coming, she did the same thing with Megan Thee Stallion.
Yep.
Put her on one of her biggest singles recently. So you could tell that Cardi B knows she got to share her space, and she ain't competing with these women. And so she knows that she wants to stay relevant. She got to collaborate. Imagine if Nicki Minaj collaborated with Cardi B when Cardi B first came out.
Yeah.
I mean, Nicki Minaj ain't really go anywhere, but she would have been way more relevant during that time.
Yeah. And to be honest, I think that would have helped the city of New York too.
Yeah. And
that would have really blew it up. Like two big New York artists on the same song, and they cool. I think that would have helped a lot. But Nicki, and that was always my argument about Nicki. She was kind of the only female artist for like 10 years. And, I don't know her personally, so I don't know if this is her attitude or what, but she always act like that, she too good to collab with anybody else. And
these bitches my sons. That's every song.
Exactly. So, it seemed like she a little more open to doing it now, but now it's kind of too late.
Yeah.
But I think Cardi B doing it the right way. She been doing it. She collabed with City Girls early on. I think, and she actually showed female artists some love. She don't really be beefing back and forth with no, female artists. She actually talked to them on Twitter and everything, support them. So I think that's really smart what Cardi B doing with that.
No, it definitely is, especially the fact that she ain't dropped an album in a minute.
Yeah.
That she needs to, these types of songs to stick around,
Yeah.
Like her biggest songs of the last couple years have been WAP and this one probably. Her singles with just her and some other male rappers ain't really do much.
Yeah. And she had a single with Lil Durk and Kanye.
Yeah. It's crazy that shit flop, man.
Yeah. It sounds old, and I think it is old too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just it.
Yeah. So good on Cardi B for extending a hand and collaborating and propping up the new young female MCs, because it's not too many of them out right now, but the song's cool. I had no problem with it. So I'm sure you'll hear a lot more of it in the future everywhere you go. So get ready for it.
Yeah.
Other things that came out. You said you heard the new album from ESTG.
Yeah.
That sounds a little too familiar to friends of the show, ESG. So I don't know if I like them yet.
Oh, really?
But the song, is it an album or a song? I never felt nothing.
It's an album.
Okay.
It's an album. But the album is really good. It's one of my favorite albums so far, man.
Oh, wow.
I've been listening to the whole album.
Where's he from?
I'm not sure. I thought for a hot second he might have been from Detroit, but I'm not sure. But yeah, he
Louisville, Kentucky, he was born.
Oh shit. I would have never guessed that.
Wow.
But he pretty popular, man. A lot of people love his music. Yeah, I think he makes some dope songs, and it's funny because he was in the news for the not the wrong reason, but remember the rapper Designer?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he actually called him out because I guess ESTG charged $75,000 for a verse.
Damn.
And Designer called him out and said he garbage and he ain't paying that money for a verse from him. And then now I guess he planned on dropping a album the same day he did or something.
75,000 for an ESTG verse.
He one of the hottest rappers out here right now. I mean, I'm not.
Man.
I guess people paying for it. I mean, maybe he just tried to charge him that. But he won.
I'm sorry. Just whenever I hear these outrageous numbers, I just don't believe it, man.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's just me being too critical, but like the young boy 300,000 or something. Like I just don't believe some of these numbers, man.
See, I kind of look at it as because I was kind of in those type of situations too, where I try to ask an artist how much they do. And for me, they'll probably try to overcharge me because they don't know me. But if it was somebody like Jeezy or somebody Gucci or something like that,
they do it for free.
They're not about to
exactly.
Yeah, so they're not about to charge $75,000. Gucci man ain't about to charge $75,000 for a verse. So I think that the whole verse paying for a verse thing, I think that's kind of like trying to get over on the sucker.
I think so.
So that's why I never really paid for a verse or nothing like that, man. I'd rather just make the music myself. But it seemed like this what it was. Somebody like Designer who ain't that hot like that.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, this is my price. He probably charged a lot of street niggas that price. I don't even know if it's that price, but he probably threw that number at Designer.
Yeah, knowing that he wouldn't pay it. So
yeah.
No, I get it. That makes sense.
Because even how do you feel about the Megan Thee Stallion saying she paid $250,000 for a Future verse? Remember that?
I don't. I remember her saying that, but there's no way she paid that money. The label had to have paid.
Yeah, she said that's how much the verse cost, the Future verse for the recent single.
$200,000 for a Future.
$250,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and see, it's not like I wouldn't be surprised if he really did charge that, but to me, I'm kind of curious if why she threw that number out there, why she said all that, because you don't really get rappers like her in her position saying how much she charged for a verse. So I'm surprised we ain't discussed this, but I wonder if she threw that number out there because this was around the time where the album did drop, and then the whole Carl Crawford thing. I wonder if that was just a deploy to say, hey, I put a lot of money into this album.
It's possible.
But that's what she said. And a lot of people was like, hey, you need to get your money back. Or that verse wasn't worth that money. So I wondered, did she actually really pay that or label pay that?
That's the confusing thing, because I feel like number one, when you do a feature verse, not a future verse, when you do a feature verse, you're named a writer. You get writing credits and all that stuff too. You get residuals from the song itself.
Yeah.
So why would, on top of that, would you charge almost $300,000?
Yeah, I never understood that.
It don't really make sense, man.
It's the same thing when like producers try to charge for a beat. Like I done had producers try to charge me like $500 for the beat. I'm like, okay, if I pay $500, you can't have nothing else to do with this beat. Like, you're not about to get no credit. Like, take your tag off.
Yep.
Yeah, like this is mine. If I'm buying the full rice, it's mine, not yours. You, whatever I do, I can do whatever the fuck I want with it, and everything. If I make a lot of money, is on me only.
Yeah.
But if you want to get in on this money, we can work something out where, you know, I could do the beat and we could kind of split the difference type thing, whatever we make from the song. So that's how I kind of look at it. But I was shocked that when she said Future charged her, you know, she paid $250,000 for the beat because it's Meg. It's not fucking designer.
Exactly.
And she's on a big label. She's under a big management. So I just didn't understand that. And I know Future not charged. I know Gucci ain't paying Future that money to hop on the song. So I just don't get. I know Gunna ain't charging that much.
Yeah.
So it's tricky, man.
Well, we potentially have a guest coming up who's worked with a lot of big names in the industry. So we gotta ask him these questions, man. We ain't gonna say the guest name, but we potentially have somebody come in who's worked with a lot of big artists, and we gotta confirm for ourselves whether these rates are true. Yeah. Because my natural inclination is to say they cap.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of lying and posturing to make these artists look like they are worth more than they really are.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. Who knows? Maybe they actually getting $275 for a verse. That's not even that good, but who knows?
Yeah.
So we'll see.
It's just crazy, man. I like if I'm paying, that's a lot of money for 16 bars, man. Like, and me, I kind of get cocky. So I'm like, if I'm paying you to hop on my shit, it don't even make sense because my verse about to be better.
Yeah. And then you don't even do the hook or nothing. You just on for 16.
Yeah. Like,
it's wild.
I think about stuff like that. Like, why would I pay you and I'm better than you? Like, I'm just trying to make some music. I'm a fan of yours, but I'm not about to pay you and my verse be better than yours. I'm paying somebody. They better they better bring a lot of attention to my to that verse.
Yeah, no, that's definitely. Like it better be something that's almost guaranteed to get you a hit. Like maybe like a Drake verse. Yeah, or like something. If you get Drake on your shit, you're definitely gonna do numbers. Yeah. Anybody else, I don't know, man.
Yeah, and if you look at a song featuring Drake, Drake most likely will have the best verse.
Yeah.
So you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like. That he bringing that heat to the song. I'm cool with that. He can watch me on the verse. So I just, you know, the way I grew up, you got to kill the feature. You got to be the one that, you know, you can't jump on somebody's song and it suck. So I'm like, man, I'm not paying you $1,000 for you to be ass on my song.
Dog, that reminds me, I gotta find this fucking song, man. Lil B did a feature verse for somebody. And he dissed this dude on his own song, man. And the dude got really upset. He leaked Lil B's number. He said, hey, if you want to get scammed by Lil B, call this number. Now I got to find this fucking song, man. Because this shit was hilarious, dog. I want to say this happened like 2 years ago. Shit, I got so many things in my fucking YouTube history, but I have to find this, man, because this shit was hilarious. Basically, he jumped on this dude's song and just dissed him for his whole verse. And it was the most ridiculous shit, but it was hilarious. I might not be able to find it now. I gotta look later on, but we'll play it later on the show. But yeah, that shit was hilarious, man. It was wild. So yeah, other things that came out this week. Oh yeah, did you hear this shit? So I guess they got a theme song for the World Cup coming out soon.
Oh no, I ain't hear it.
Tears for Fears got that song. You know, everybody wants to rule the world song. Yeah. And Lil B did like a remix to that song. I guess they did like a new version of it. And Lil Baby. Lil Baby. Okay. Lil Baby did basically rapped over the beat to that song.
Damn.
And it's like the theme song of the World Cup. Now, the song ain't that bad itself, I have to say. When I first heard he was collaborating with Tears for Fears, I was like, that's a big 80s band, but they ain't did shit since the 80s, man. Yeah. So I was like, what the fuck? And then it's going to be the World Cup theme song. The song itself ain't that bad, but I just want to talk about Lil Baby for a second.
Uh-oh.
how did this nigga become like the ambassador of hip hop for the entire world, man? How?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Somebody got to explain this to me, man, because he's just always been an all right rapper to me.
Yeah.
But somehow he's gotten even bigger than like the Cardi B push. Yeah. Cardi B was out there having discussions with fucking Joe Biden and shit. Yeah. And now Lil B's out there meeting with politicians. Not Lil B. I keep saying Lil B. Lil Baby's out there meeting with politicians, got his own documentary out, doing a song for the World Cup.
Yeah. I don't know
what happened, man.
I don't know, man. This is very interesting because like we talked about him doing the song, the song in 2020. Pretty much to stop the violence, the George Floyd, stop shooting us type song. We kind of laughed at it a little bit, but I think some of that kind of helped a little bit, man. Yeah. It showed you that he's willing to do anything. And I'm
looking for the song.
Oh, really? Oh, no, you good. But it kind of showed you that he's willing to do anything. He did the Kurt Franklin song with Kurt Franklin. So yeah, man.
Yeah, that was the Space. Was that the Space Jam song?
Space Jam, yeah.
What the fuck, man?
I don't know.
How did he become like Mr. Hip Hop himself, like the fucking spokesperson for everything?
Yeah,
Lil Baby of all people. You would think like somebody like Drake would have a position because number one, he's more charismatic.
Yeah,
he can talk like he could hold his own in a room with anybody. Pretty much, he's funny.
Yeah.
And he makes like the biggest music in the world for as far as rap goes.
Yeah.
But Lil Baby is that.
I wonder if it's a price type of thing. If the World Cup was like, it might be too much to, pay for Drake. But Lil Baby do it for anything.
Yeah.
Lil Baby probably don't say no. He probably say, hey, I'll do a World Cup song.
And somehow, even though he's been like a drill gangster type rapper, he's seen as a safe rapper too at the same time.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
I don't see how he getting away with that.
It's wild, dog. Like ever since, I think what really spun it off was the fucking George Floyd protest song.
Yeah.
Which I hated, but I feel like that like propelled him
they still play that song too, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's the worst song, man.
Now, I ain't have a problem with that song.
That song is awful, dog.
I have a problem with it, but I don't disagree with you.
Yeah, no, that song
I ain't about to argue with you about it.
That song was terrible, dog. And I feel like that definitely
it worked.
It did, man, because I remember he did the whole performance on the cop car and the fucking, I want to say the BET Awards or some shit.
Yeah.
And now he's like Mr. Hip Hop himself. He's meeting with politicians. I'm telling him he was meeting with Stacey Abrams, and like you could tell you didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. Like I'm not hating on him. Like he seems like he's a good dude with a good story.
Yeah,
but it's just I don't know how. Like you would think he's Tupac.
Yeah,
the way he's been promoted and presented throughout everything. I just don't get it, man. But yeah, he's doing the World Cup theme song. And he's got the song with Tears for Fears rapping over that classic song. I mean, the song itself ain't too bad. Yeah. But I'll be watching the World Cup. I don't want to hear that shit every fucking commercial break, man. I'm sorry. Okay, so I found the song, man. It's the YouTube link. We gotta listen to this shit, man.
All right.
That Lil B did a verse for somebody, and he just dissed him for his entire verse.
All right.
We gotta listen to this shit real quick. I don't think it's going to get copyright flagged because nobody knows who this guy is.
Okay.
So hopefully it doesn't.
Real quick, shout out to Mook Montonio.
Yo, what up, Mook?
Yeah, he said 222 is a good number. Yeah. We had episode 222.
Oh shit. Okay, you got to skip to like I want to say 225 in the song to get to the verse. This guy is like an independent artist.
I see. Yeah, it sounds like
it. And this came out like, here we go.
Man, how much did he pay for this verse?
That's the whole verse.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. I know he's probably pissed about this, but I would have scrapped my first verse, and I would have just did this verse.
Yes,
I would have pulled the Jim Jones.
I don't know why he put this song out, man, as it was.
Yeah,
but
I would have pulled the Jim Jones. Remember what Jim Jones did with the balling song when Jay-Z hopped on did the diss song?
Oh shit, what happened?
So Jim Jones, he pretty much took that Jay-Z verse and did a remix. And so he put it out as a remix featuring Jay-Z. And so he was talking shit. I'm surprised you ain't hear this.
I probably did, but it's been a long time, man.
Yeah, so what he did was, you know what Jay-Z do? He jump on a hot song and diss you on it. And so Jim Jones, he pretty much took that and, made a remix to it. Where he was talking shit at the beginning, like, yeah, we got these old heads on here. Like, go ahead. And then Jay-Z verse played. And then after Jay-Z verse, he like, all right, I see you, old head. Yeah, that was cute. and then the next verse, he went into dissing Jay-Z. So I would have did that.
Yeah, he should have done something, man. Cause I don't know why he put that song out like it was. The dude on the first verse be crying to these hoes. Like, what the fuck? Dude on the first verse sucks. Like, what the fuck?
Man.
That was, I think I want to say his story was like he paid him like $300. But I feel like somebody, the description of the video is this is what a $2 Lil B feature got me.
$2. $2.
Yeah, so I don't know why he only paid. Why
is he fucking complaining about that? Then?
Exactly.
I'm surprised Lil B wasted his time doing that shit.
Me too. I mean, I know Lil B does verses for whatever price, but I didn't think he would do one for $2. Yeah, and give him like,
we gotta get a Lil B verse then, man.
I mean, shit, do an intro or something. Yeah. You got 23,000 views since 2019 for this song, so. Yeah, I mean, that's something. But that shit was hilarious.
I need to reach out to Lil B, man. You might be talking shit about us.
Yeah, the dudes on the podcast suck. That shit was wild, man. Yeah. I think he sucked some dick. Come on, man. How could you as a man put that song out?
Yeah, I can't do that, man.
Come on, at least take that line out.
Yeah. He at least left him with a bass guide at the end.
Yeah.
Because at first I was like, is this him? Because that didn't sound like him. But
yeah, that's rough.
Man. For $2, I'm not saying bass guide in my shit.
Yeah.
Nah.
He cut that shit in 2 minutes. $1 per minute for that fucking the work he put in for that shit.
Yeah.
So other things that came out this week. Okay, I've been listening to some new shit, man.
Okay.
I've been listening to Lucky got a new album out called Flawless Like Me. I just started listening to this dude kind of recently. He got a dope song called Super Urus. And everybody's in love with that fucking Lamborghini SUV, by the way. That's what the Urus is.
Really?
That Lamborghini SUV is a Urus. They call it the Lamborghini truck. It ain't really a truck. But everybody's in love with that fucking shit, man. But the Super Urus is a dope song. That came out like back in February. He finally dropped the album, and the album's good, man. I gotta say, him and Yeet, I've been bumping heavy these last 2 weeks. Yeet dropped the album, I want to say like 2-3 weeks ago. We didn't talk about it really. And these, I gotta say, first and foremost, these people are not the best rappers, okay? They're the mumbliest of the mumbles, and Lucky especially is an acquired taste. But their production, man, is crazy. The production on both these albums, the Yeet Life album especially, like the production is crazy, man. For the Yeet album, I kind of feel like it's a mixture between, because you could feel the Playboi Carti influence in him. It kind of feels like a mixture of Die Lit and a whole lot of red with the rock influence. So I really like that album, man. The production is great. This new Lucky album is pretty good as well. It got a feature from Future, who actually sounded pretty good on it, and Babyface Ray is on it as well.
You think he paid $250,000 for it?
I don't think he paid $250,000 for that verse, but it was actually a good Future verse, man. Like, I actually enjoyed it. So, yeah, I mean, these albums are good, man. They're new kid shit, I gotta say. And like I said, beware, these people are not the best rappers. But like the production, the sound, like I fuck with it, man. I really enjoy both of them, and shit, I'm kind of a fan now, man. I gotta say, I'm getting into some of the new kid shit now. Okay, trying to open up my horizons, you know. So yeah, I fuck with the new shit.
So it's qualified then.
I would say so. Yeah,
qualified.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting into some new shit listening to ESTG.
Yeah, it feels good to discover somebody new and you actually like them, man.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I get stuck in that rut of like, oh, everything new sucks. All this new mainstream shit sucks. But then you find something you really click with. And it's like, damn, this shit actually sounds really good. Let me check out all this stuff. And it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Really good underground artists out here, man. So
yeah. Another album I've been listening to, it's a new album. I ain't put on the list, but Louis Ray. I think he's from Detroit. He had that Detroit sound, but he got an album called My Signature.
Okay.
And it pretty good. I mean, a lot of people don't like the Detroit sound.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get some of that on there. But I've been listening to that and ESTG. So yeah, if you want to listen to something different, check it out.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. I'm trying to open up my horizons. I'm getting tired of playing the same shit at the gym over and over again, man. Like, so I'm looking for new music. And that Yeet album especially is some good gym music, man. I got to say,
really? Okay.
There's some good gym music in there. So
you might like ESTG then.
I'm if you're
looking for some good gym music. Yeah, you might like ESTG. You'll probably like maybe Doughboy. So yeah, check them out. I feel like those are good gym music too.
Okay, now I'm checking it out for sure. But yeah, the production on these albums, man. Like, look, people say this era is bad. Like, production wise, I don't know if hip hop's really been in a better. Like, I guess the boom bap era was great. The sample era was great. But there was only so many producers making those great songs. You got DJ Premiers, the RZAs, but not everybody's making that level of quality. Yeah. Here you got like producers you ain't ever heard of making some fire shit.
You can find somebody on YouTube and reach out to them, and that beat, that production is fire. So it's, that's why I understand when people don't have good production. It's like, man, you can
There's
find
so many,
Yeah, like it's damn near inexcusable to not have good production on the project. So that's why I kind of appreciate Nas working with Hit Boy.
Yeah.
Because at this point, Nas still has some bad beats. Yeah. It's like, come on, man, you the problem at this point, man.
No, for real. Like, it's still working with people like Swiss Beats and shit in fucking 2022, man. Come on. But yeah, man. So some good new music out. Yeah, you just gotta look for it. But hip hop is definitely still alive, in my opinion, man. A lot of good shit still dropping. So yeah, expand your horizons sometime, man. We all advocate for that.
Yeah.
All right. So now it's time to get into some of the bullshit, some of the hottest topics and everything going on in the world, culture-wise, sports-wise, et cetera, et cetera. I guess we'll start with the newest stuff and then go down to the shit that happened in the past week or so. So the newest big story in the sports and entertainment and music, I guess kind of too, world is Ime Udoka, the head coach of the Boston Celtics, has been suspended for the 2022-2023 NBA season. Now, this was first reported. We had no idea why.
Yeah, Woj left us on the cliffhanger.
Yeah, Woj, Shams, all these supposedly tapped in NBA insiders. All they did was announce that he was suspended, but did not add any reason why.
Yeah. What was your first thought when you seen that?
Dog, I'm not gonna fucking lie. I immediately thought he was fucking with an employee.
Really?
Yes.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought, because the way they worded it, it said suspended by the team, like team he did something with the team.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing I thought about was he must have gotten a fight with the owner, or did something like that, or some type of gambling, or betting on the teams, betting in sports. That's the first thing I thought about, because a year, I was just like, oh shit, it must have been been betting on NBA games or some shit.
The reason why I immediately went, and I kind of felt bad for even jumping there in the first place, because I was like, why I gotta think because the coach is black, he was, couldn't keep his dick in his pants. But the reason I immediately thought it was an employee that he was fucking with is because it wasn't the NBA announcing it. So I knew, okay, the league wasn't involved in this. He wasn't arrested. So it was nothing illegal. No lawsuits, nothing was announced lawsuit-wise. Yeah. So it didn't seem like it was anything illegal. So I was like, okay, what could it be? It had to be something with the staff. And it was most likely him fucking with an employee. But I felt bad for thinking that, because I was like, I don't want to be stereotypical for one of the few black coaches, but then that's exactly what had happened. So, and I feel bad about that now too.
Yeah.
But Ime Udoka, who was famously married to Nia Long. I don't know if they're still married. I would assume their relationship is over now.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if they was married or not, or just kind of just a long relationship, because I remember them being married.
Yeah, I remember it being a story back when the Celtics were making that whole playoff run. Yeah, everybody brought up, he's married to Nia Long, right? But I never seen them together. I just saw the story of them being married. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember when he first got hired, and that kind of popped up. It wasn't on ESPN or nothing, but they was like, oh, this is the guy Nia Long date. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, like, what? Like, she could have anybody. And this motherfucker who been an assistant for so long, like, she been with this dude. So I was kind of shocked. But then it just went on, I guess.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure if they was married or what.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either. I don't remember ever seeing them together, like in public. I don't remember seeing her at games. Maybe I missed it. I didn't watch a whole lot of Celtics games.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing her like in the stands or anything, but I just remember it being a story like, hey, they're married, right? Drunk says the word, what up, Drunk, by the way? Good to have you on YouTube as well. Drunk says word is he was sleeping with the team executive wife. Yeah, I did hear that. I heard potentially it could have been the vice president's wife. We don't know that for sure. That's all rumors and hearsay at this point. But you have to imagine it was something more than just him fucking with a regular employee.
Yeah.
For a year suspension and maybe more.
Yeah.
So I think, and then now Matt Barnes, people are talking about it now. Matt Barnes took back because he defended Ime Udoka. A lot of people defended Ime Udoka at first.
Yeah.
Because I think their natural reaction was the same thing as we all had. Like, okay, so what? He fucked an employee. Yeah. All of us done did that shit at some point.
Yeah.
We didn't get suspended or fired for it. So it seemed like it was being overblown, but then some things started coming out where he apparently made some unwarranted comments that were reported to the team or the organization, and they took action. And now apparently there's some other things that I think we're going to eventually find out.
Yeah.
That somebody's going to leak the shit. But apparently it's something serious that deserves at least this kind of punishment.
Damn.
So, what up, Holly? We got to fucking change your name. I can't say that. My fucking mouth cannot form those words. Holly Rachel Worshipper.
You've been doing pretty good, man.
I'm trying, man. It's a long ass name, dog. You need a Gyms and Juice name, okay? Come up with a Gyms and Juice name that we can call you, because I don't want to call you Holly Rachel Worshipper every single time we talk about you, man.
You just call him Holly.
I don't think that's a woman, so I don't want to call her Holly.
That's what I meant.
You need a name, a shortcut name, so we could talk about your comments on the stream, man.
What's up, Holly?
Yeah. Ernesto, what's up to you as well, man? You say they've been engaged for 5 or so years. Yeah, I've heard that too, but I just don't know. Like, I've never seen them together. It seemed like one of those PR celebrity type relationships, I didn't see them together a whole lot.
Yeah.
But Figgy, what are your thoughts on this, man? And number 2, what about Brett Favre? Okay. Why are we talking about Brett Favre? Okay.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the whole Ime Udoka thing?
I was kind of shocked, to be honest. I never expected the coach to be suspended over something like this. But I enjoyed the jokes on Twitter and all that stuff. But I ain't really jump out the window and say, "Hey, that's crazy," or "How could they do?" I knew it was something more than that because it had to be the president's wife, or it had to be something like that. And they at that point they had to suspend him for at least a year. I think he eventually gonna be gone. I just don't see them bringing him back to coach the team after that. And it's very unfortunate because he got them to the finals. But man, I just think, man, you just gotta, somebody in that position, man, you gotta watch who you mess around with, man. Like if it's somebody that important, like you can't, his NBA career might be over.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I mean, maybe somebody could give him another chance. But I don't know, man, because shit like that's the type of shit that gets you blackballed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very unfortunate. And I don't know. Another thing too, everybody's saying how stupid he was because he got Nia Long. When are we gonna stop having this conversation, man?
Yeah, man.
Look, man, anybody could get cheated on, man. Like it don't matter. It don't matter who it is. And two, I like Nia Long, but you don't know what was going on during that time. You don't know what's going on between them. You don't know if they was going through a rocky place where the relationship was pretty much over. You don't know how she is, behind closed doors. Like, look, like let's not sit here and say, why would he cheat on Nia Long? Like a lot of people get cheated on, man.
And let's be honest about this point too. And I don't want to offend any older people, especially any older women, but Nia Long is 51 years old, man. This is not 1996 Nia Long, all right? So anybody asking how could Nia Long of all people get cheated on, a 51-year-old woman, when you out working, you got a young tender up in your face.
Yeah.
Shit can happen, man. We don't know exactly what happened here. Hopefully he wasn't cheated with another 51-year-old because that would just be wild. And it was a white woman too, maybe. So that would be crazy.
Yeah.
But y'all don't know these people.
Beyonce got cheated on, man.
Exactly. Anybody. You don't know these people in real life or what they go through.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I was. That's the part that was kind of irritating me a little bit. It's like, man, like, come on, man. Anybody get cheated on. So I just don't understand that, I mean, I get what he did was stupid because he put his job in jeopardy, his career in jeopardy over some shit like that. But let's not sit here and say, oh, he's so stupid. Why would he cheat on Nia Long?
You see that fucking congressman?
Yes, I seen that, man.
Nigga, can you write a fucking bill or something? Yeah. Why are you even involved?
I can't wait till that shit is over, man. The Congress people weighing in on.
It will never be. This is the future now, Figgy, okay?
Man.
This is everybody got to be on top of the trending topics. And low-key, this shit started with Obama.
Yeah.
I got to say, man, I don't think it, like the fact that he commented on shit like Taylor Swift and Kanye at the VMAs and shit like that. That kind of spread the whole thing of these politicians trying to keep up with the celebrity gossip and the trends and all this shit. So it's only gonna get worse, Figgy. Okay, we gonna see Wendy's and fucking Clorox and chime in too. It's never gonna end.
And we already seeing that shit with the whenever somebody doing a live, and then you have Wendy's comment fire emojis and shit.
See, this is the most pandering ass tweet. Look at this shit. This dude, I guess he's a U.S. House candidate in New York. His name is Jamal Bowman. He says, sending nothing but love to Nia Long. We're not letting a man who didn't recognize the luxury her presence was dim all her beauty and glory. Matter of fact, we need a Nia Long national holiday. That's got to be top 10 most pandering ass tweets of all time, dog. Yeah. I got to get the black woman on my side.
Yes. Yes. Let me look at these quote tweets.
Fuck out of here, man. I'm glad he got roasted for that bullshit, dog. Come on, man. Yeah, he got roasted. Very
somebody
thankfully.
Said, bro, chill. You look thirsty.
I'm happy he got roasted up for that shit, man. Because, dog. Yeah. But let's be real. There's a lot of people tweeting like this too.
Yes.
And they got the same intentions. They just trying to pander and build up their roster, maybe.
Yeah. Look. I mean, I don't think anybody deserved to get cheated on, but let's be real. We don't know the situation.
Yeah.
Like they could have been separated, and he was doing his own thing and just got caught up with the wrong person. So she could have been doing her thing. Like we don't know what happened in their house. So I just don't understand the strong sympathy because we just seen one side of the story. So
yeah,
you never know, because a lot of people that separated, but you don't even know it. And then when you see somebody out with somebody, let's say like a Will Smith and Jada Pinkett situation, like you heard all the random stories. Oh, Will Smith was dating so-and-so and he cheated on her too. And you don't know what's going on in that damn household. And that's a wild household. So it could be something, maybe they wasn't together, because I heard she wasn't even living in Boston.
Yeah.
So, maybe they was kind of, going through some shit and kind of separated, but still engaged or married, whatever they are. And he was snooping around with the team exec wife or whoever. So it could have been something like that.
No, I agree. Of all the storylines, the Nia Long storyline mattered the least to me. But that's what everybody cares about, because that's what makes it juicy for Black Twitter. So whatever.
Yeah.
Drunk says, what I hate is to find out an NBA coach of all people has no discipline. I agree, man. And I have to say, dog, I hate to put this on Black people in positions of power, especially like coaches, but there's only so many of them. And they're still held to an example of kind of like the Black quarterback. Everybody's like, oh, this is the era of the Black quarterback. Dog, if enough of them fail, we're going right back to fucking Pacey White. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's just, unfortunately, they still have to set an example of professionalism, of how they carry themselves. And on top of that, all winning and shit. So to have somebody do something so silly as this, man, grown ass man. And that's one of the first lessons you learn in the workplace. Don't shit where you eat.
Yep.
And I get it. I've done it plenty of times. I understand temptation.
Yeah.
This reminds me of that Patrice O'Neal bit where he talks about we should have a sexual harassment day, because women be flirty as hell at work.
Yeah.
I've seen it plenty of times, but then you always wonder in the back of your head, like, is she really trying to get some, or is she just being friendly?
Yeah.
And sometimes you just want to check and say, hey, you really trying to do something?
Yeah.
And then, oh my God, I'm telling HR. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Rub me on my back every morning since I...
Dog, and to be honest, it's like that in this workplace.
Yes.
Because like a lot of people go around, they give each other hugs. You got one lady who actually kissed you on the cheek.
Yes.
All type of
very
stuff.
Very touchy-feely.
Yes. Where it's just like, so...
No, even here, I've had some straight up propositions where I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna do it. But I was tempted. I mean, you always get tempted.
Yeah.
And in other workplaces I've done as well. So look, I understand it, but you just got to know, especially when you're in a position of power like the head coach.
Yeah.
You can't be. You just can't, man.
Yeah. And it's crazy because so back when I used to work in Cleveland at a high school, it was we kind of went down a rabbit hole on the age of consent, or I think it's consent. Yeah. I guess the age limit of who you can mess with type thing, because it was Ohio had a wild law where I guess the age of consent is, I want to say 16. So a grown ass man can go up to the school and talk to a 16-year-old. Like, that's perfectly fine. But somebody like me, I can't talk to, obviously teachers can't talk to a student because that's position of power, because I'm technically over that student and I could go to jail for it. But a 40-year-old can do they can talk to a 16-year-old. But if I was like 18 and the other student was like 17, I would get in trouble I could go to jail for that.
That's wild.
Ain't that crazy?
That is crazy, man.
That's crazy because like with me being 18, if I was working there, technically I'm positioned to power where I'm over this student. So I can't, that won't work out. But old ass grandpa can, can mess around with a 16 or 17. Yeah. So I was just like, damn, that's how fucked up the laws is. And I don't think anybody in the workplace over power should talk to somebody like that, especially in the school. That's nasty.
Yeah.
But just, little shit like that, man. It's just like, damn. I just don't understand how you could, position of power. You can, mess around with somebody like that. And it's very tempting. And I ain't talking about the school situation, but, if you all grown and, somebody, that's under you looks good, that's, it's not bad, but
you always gonna wonder, man. No, honestly, I'm just saying perfectly.
Yeah.
Holly Rich Worshipper says, it's crazy the whole world, including your fam, knows you on suspension for smashing. Yeah, and I want to bring that up too, because the way the team handled this was funny style, man.
You think race kind of played a part in this too? A little bit?
See, that it's hard to say. It's hard to say, because that's the thing. It always comes down to, if this was a white person, would they have done it this way? Yeah, because we just don't have an example, really. People keep bringing up Phil Jackson and Jeannie Buss. That's not the same thing. Yeah, okay, as the owner's daughter, but it wasn't the situation. As far as we know, was not the same, and there was no allegation of it not being wanted on Jeannie Buss's side. Yeah, so that's the main point that people are missing when they bring that shit up. Yeah, but I don't know, man. At first, I thought they were trying to protect him, because they didn't include any details as to why he was going to get suspended. Then it did leak out that it had something to do with him and an employee that they thought was consensual. But it seems like they're still trying to protect him in a way, because they're not giving any details. Yeah. So they could easily say, it kind of reminds me of, on a much lower scale, when the Texans fired Amy, the PR person. Yeah. And just didn't say why. And everybody got upset about it. Yeah. But they never said why they fired her. Yeah. It was something internal that stayed internal. Yeah. And they fired her in the middle of the season. Exactly. Yeah. And everybody in the media got upset. They were like, oh, Amy's so great. The Texans are so stupid. They took all that heat, but something happened. Yeah. We don't know publicly what happened, but something happened. Yeah. And I think that should have been the same way this was handled. Yeah, but I guess it just got so big they had to leak. Something was bound to leak. Yeah, I think the other part is too. They said that he's most likely to be suspended for a year. Yeah. At that point, you might as well just let him go. Just fire him and just keep it moving. So now all of this shit got to come out at some point. So I just, that's the other part. And I brought up the whole race thing because they did say it was a team, he, violated team rules or something like that. So I wonder, what's the team rules? Not to sleep with somebody, or what? Yeah. What's the team? I was kind of curious, like, is that in every coach's contract? Yeah. Every organization probably has their own set of rules of conduct, code of conduct. And some workplaces I know have a strict, like, no dating coworkers rule. It's kind of rare, but it happens. Yeah. And especially with, like, when you're in a position of power and it's somebody maybe under you or maybe over you, it can influence things. Like, there's a power dynamic there. So, we don't know enough details, but that would probably be the reason why. It's like something big happened that we don't know yet here. That's the main thing. Something big happened that we don't know yet. People are speculating a whole lot of things. People are saying he got somebody's wife pregnant, maybe, or some shit. Yeah. We just don't know, man. Yeah. But something big definitely happened that we're not aware of all the details yet. Yeah. Drunk says, how y'all feel about it being consensual and him getting exposed and disciplined, but not the female? Stephen A. Smith had a point about this, and he got kind of roasted by Malika Andrews, who came on the show and told him to stop. And it was actually pretty funny. But
oh, that's why she was on there?
Yeah. Well, she was reporting about it, but she got upset at him for saying
I was wondering why she was on there, because I think it was First Take.
Yeah.
And they said they had her on the phone.
Yeah.
I was just like, what the heck? Like, damn. Like, what is she doing on the show?
She was reporting. I guess she was there at the press conference. And she's like the it girl for ESPN right now, too. Now that Rachel Nichols is gone.
Yeah.
She's like the new Rachel Nichols.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So Stephen A. Smith made that point about how they exposed all these details, but then kept her. And then they even said that they believed it to be consensual, but they didn't expose the woman. And now it's just Ime Udoka getting thrown under the bus, apparently.
Yeah.
And he's just questioning why they didn't unveil her name, too. Yeah. And then Malika Andrews spun it into Stephen A. Smith was trying to blame the victim.
Wait, so who is the victim?
The person who said that he made an unwarranted comment. Is because that's basically, people keep missing that point. I think the reasoning that we know now is she reported something that he did to the team and they got involved because they knew about the relationship before. So technically, it apparently was not illegal or a problem for them to have a relationship. But it wasn't until they became aware that he did something foul, according to her, that it became a big deal. So,
and see, that's something else that's tricky too.
Yeah,
because it could have been a situation where they got into it.
Yeah,
and he said, "Hey, I ain't leaving my wife," or
it could have been her husband found out. Yeah, and she said, "Hey."
Yep.
This nigger just came on. He just came in and proposed. He said he wanted to fuck. I was like, oh. Yeah. So, yeah. Dog, that's why, mess with people in the workplace, especially married people, man. Yeah. Because when shit hits the fans, they would choose.
They would throw anybody under the bus.
Yes.
They don't care. Like, we done seen people go to jail for rape. Because they got the other person got caught up and they just threw the person under the bus.
No, women can be heartless, dog. They will throw somebody's life. Like, I'm not saying that's what happened. We don't know.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying it's possible. This is why you just don't put yourself in this, because ultimately it's Ime Udoka's fault.
Yeah,
for putting himself in this
because
position
he shouldn't have messed with her.
But this is what can happen, man. Like, you never know. All it takes is a woman to say, he went too far, or he did something, I did not want this, and then it's a problem. So, and he did kind of cook Malika, because she went, how you gonna go on a man's show and tell him to stop? Yeah. But I wouldn't be surprised if he apologizes, though, because he probably will.
Yeah,
he probably will. He'll say, I want to start off this first take.
I just have something to say before we get into everything.
But one thing I noticed, Stephen A. Smith has a lot of smoke for black people. He only apologizes when it's like something he says to, like, when's the last time he apologized?
What's the Asian player? Shohei Ohtani. I think he made a comment about him. Which wasn't I don't think it was really that. I think he said he need to learn English. How you gonna be a superstar? He don't, said something like that, which was, to me, it was kind of a fair point. And they tore his ass up where he apologized immediately. I want to say the next day he apologized, and he made a video on Twitter or some shit. He apologized like 3 times over that shit.
Yeah. No, I remember he did. Yeah, and he also apologized to, back in the day, I think it was something that was with Michelle Beadle. And something he said, I remember that back in the day, something that she got offended by that he apologized for. When it comes to black people, he takes up this stance of, I'm not apologizing for nothing. I don't care what you think about me.
Yeah. So I think that's why a lot of black folks have a problem with him.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, because he be going in on black folks. It was somebody else. It was something else that happened because he was going in on, who was it? he was going in on some black dude or it was somebody, but then the same thing happened to a white person, and he ain't say nothing. He was like defending them.
I forgot what happened.
Yeah, I don't know if it was something with Kyrie or KD. It was something where he was just like going in, and the same exact thing happened to a white person.
I know for a fact that he grilled Kyrie over the vaccine shit for like a year.
Yeah,
and then the Aaron Rodgers, who Stephen A. Smith used to love him some fucking Aaron Rodgers.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
that's what it was because they showed a clip like back to back.
Yeah,
of him going in on Kyrie about the vaccine, and then Aaron Rodgers, he was just like kind of defending it a little bit. He was all calm and collective over it, and everybody was just like over this dude.
Yeah, no, definitely. I gotta say, man, I like Stephen A. Smith. I think he's entertaining. But he do be on some funny style shit with that stuff, man. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Drunk says, if you sleeping with somebody, what could you say that could be unwarranted? Well, to be fair, look, you can withdraw consent at any time. Like, look, we don't, like I said, we don't know what happened. We don't know what happened. Okay. So until we get some more details, which I think we're going to get some more details at some point soon, because people are going to keep digging and somebody's going to talk. Yeah. Somebody's going to talk. But until then, we just look. My takeaway was that he was fine with the punishment.
Yeah.
We saw his statement.
Yeah.
So I feel like he admitted he fucked up in that point. So I have no reason to defend him.
Yeah.
I'm just like, let's see what happens. I'm hoping his life ain't over, of course.
Yeah,
but
the part that got me was they made a point to say it was consensual.
Yeah.
But then they said the unwanted it.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, which one is it?
Well, they were saying that the team believed it was consensual, but then she said later on that he made unwarranted comments. So I don't know why the team thought it was consensual. I don't know if they investigated it and said, okay, this checks out. Or they were like, we just saw them being friendly one day and like, yeah, they probably fucking around, but who cares?
Yeah.
And then, I don't know. Like I said, we don't know what happens. People are speculating a whole lot of wild shit, and I think we'll find out soon. But Chris, what up, Tab?
Tab, what's happening?
See you in the chat as well, man. Good to have you as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think it's irresponsible for people to put this random lady picture out?
Yes, but they do that every fucking time.
I know.
Man.
I think this situation was kind of rough because I'm like, I don't even know if it's this lady.
Yeah.
All they did was search women that work for the Boston Celtics. And just blasted this picture out there. I'm just like, damn, that might not even be her.
Dog.
That how that can fuck up her household. You don't know who she married to or what. That can fuck up a household. And they just threw that picture out there. I'm just like, damn, man.
That, I don't even say low key because it's high key now. That's one of the biggest problems with social media today, I feel, man.
Yeah.
Misinformation, doxing people, throwing people out there who are not involved with, because this happens every single time there's like a big event where we don't know.
Yeah.
Like it happened with I remember that one of the earliest examples I can remember was the Boston bombings, where like all these websites were trying to ID the people who were responsible and they ID'd the wrong people.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, dog, do you realize you can get these people fucking hurt?
Yeah.
Somebody looking for these kids or whoever did it, and then somebody fucking gets shot and killed.
Yeah.
Or some crazy shit happens. So please get the wrong person. Like, y'all need to stop being Twitter investigators, man.
Yeah.
The team knows who it is. Don't fucking put people's information out there when you don't know the facts.
Yeah.
The same thing happens in these viral TikTok videos, all this shit. People getting doxxed and people getting their information put out there.
Getting their workplace.
Yeah.
And they be like, hey, this somebody, all it takes is somebody, a white person, to make a stupid tweet.
Yep.
And then it was, oh, he work here.
Yeah.
And call his job. And
get on fire.
Look, man, people say a lot of stupid shit on Twitter.
Yes.
I'm not trying to get nobody fired, man. That's crazy to me.
That's literally being a fucking tattletale, man.
Yeah.
Like nobody in school wanted to be a fucking snitch. I don't see why everybody on Twitter wants to be a snitch all of a sudden, man.
Yeah.
Oh, he said he don't like black women. Let's get him fucking fired. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Who cares, man?
I never understood that. And I try to mind my business, man. I can say you a piece of shit and just keep it moving. Like, I'm not trying to get you fired. I'm not trying to get you, divorced from your wife. I'm not trying to end your career. Like, dog, I can say you a piece of shit and just keep it moving.
Yeah.
Like, I can delete you out of my mind. But people be on here, they be like, how do you even have the time to try to figure out where this person work?
It's wild, man. People, you got to be unemployed to have that kind of fucking time on your hands to look up where somebody works and see where they live and call their house and send them hate mail.
I never had that much. I barely had time to put shit on the dock for us, for the podcast. I'll be having to find some time to try to see what happened.
Yeah.
And niggas out here looking up people's address and all that shit. That is crazy, man.
It's insane, man. It's a wild. Drunk said Twitter, the wild, wild west when it comes to theories. It really is, man. That's why. And TikTok especially, I think TikTok is like the leader now of this fake, stupid shit. The latest case is that fucking NyQuil chicken.
Oh, yeah.
Dog,
I heard
NyQuil chicken was not a thing until the FDA made a statement about it. They did the research and said, before the FDA made a statement about the NyQuil chicken challenge, there was like 4 searches for it total on the entire app.
Damn.
After they put the statement out, there was like 1,400 times that. Damn. You're making it a thing when you talk about it and all this fake information, because clearly the video was a joke.
Yeah.
I don't think the dude actually ate the NyQuil chicken, man. But they asked, kids are eating NyQuil chicken now. They got the NyQuil chicken challenge. Dog, y'all being fooled, man. This is obviously bullshit y'all getting fed.
Yeah, it's a lot of people on social media that create scenarios to, go viral and be jokes.
Yes.
Because it was one viral video of a girl. She act like she was talking to a news person, like a reporter outside, and she was like dogging her sister and all this other shit. But you could tell the girl was a Instagram joker.
Mm-hmm.
And the story, everything kind of looked fake, but a lot of people thought she was really dogging her sister. And you had a whole bunch of think pieces on it. I'm just like, y'all know this is fake, right? Like, she do this shit all the time.
Yes.
Here's her Instagram page where she doing multiple videos like this. And I don't know, man. People just see shit and take it serious.
They do, dog. It's ridiculous now. This is like the worst, even though it's easier than ever to get information. We're the most uninformed that we've ever been as a human race, I feel.
Yeah.
Because nobody takes the time to look up anything, to search anything, to see if anything's true. I see people in real life say shit that I know is fake. Yeah. And it's like, dog, did you even look in the comments to see if this shit was real?
Yeah.
Shit's insane, man. TMZ is trying to pay out people now. Yeah, they definitely gonna get to the bottom of this. Look, some people know what happened with the Ime Udoka shit.
Yeah, people in the league. People in the league know.
Yeah.
I wish we knew an NBA player.
If somebody fucking told Matt Barnes,
yeah,
I would imagine somebody gonna tell a real reporter soon, and they go,
yeah,
and it's possible they already know. They just are not saying shit.
They probably just don't have enough. I guess I don't want to say evidence, but they gotta, when you report something, you gotta have some source. You gotta get
people
it confirmed.
Who want to talk.
Yeah, you gotta have it confirmed by like a couple people to put it out there, because you don't, like, in this situation, you don't want to put it out there and then be wrong.
Yeah, and
then that can kind of fuck up your career.
Yeah, or the league doesn't want them to put it out.
Yeah, they
say,
could get in trouble. Yeah,
exactly. So it could be that too. So we don't know, man.
Woj would have had this already. Yeah. Shams would have had this already.
It's possible they do, because we found out time and time again when some shit breaks, everybody already knew about it.
Yeah, because Woj and Shams hitting up the probably the Boston Celtics, like, yo, what's going on? And they have a good relationship.
Yeah. So
they probably like, hey, look, this is what happened, but we still trying to figure some stuff out. So please, don't say anything right now.
Yeah.
We'll give you the story first, but just hold tight real quick while we get everything to figure some shit out.
Yeah. No, I think that's definitely the case, man, because it's going to come out, but I think, and people already know what happened. So we'll find out soon to public soon enough.
Yeah.
Junk said, you made me mad is they made NyQuil chicken breasts. Like, bro, could have at least made some NyQuil wings. Yeah. Yeah, that shit was wild, man. I couldn't. Yeah, that shit. I finally saw the video after hearing about the shit for a whole week. And it's like, it was clearly a joke, man. This dude was not seriously eating no damn NyQuil chicken. It was clearly a joke. But everybody, I saw even the Sports Radio 610 morning show, Sean and Seth talk about it like, kids are eating NyQuil chicken now. What's going on with the world? It's like, dog, this is clearly a joke that just people took way too far, man.
Yeah. This kind of remind me. So I know you don't watch the show P-Valley, but it was a couple episodes where they start putting some weed in the wings, and the weed. So it was some weed chicken wings, and niggas start eating the wings up and start getting high, and they start spending more money. So it was kind of fucked up, but it was like we need some more of these weed wings, and then niggas start coming in, getting some more wings, and spending way more money. So everybody in there was just high as hell. So I'm like, damn, like it's not even that type of situation.
I mean, to be real though, thinking about it, is putting NyQuil on chicken any worse than putting cough syrup in a soda and drinking it to get high? or smoking formaldehyde?
Look, I'd have heard some people that give their kids NyQuil just to go to bed.
Yeah, I've thought about it. I have fucking insomnia, man. I'll be looking at that bottle of NyQuil like, man, I was just down this shit, go to sleep finally, but I never do.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Like, honestly, that in a hierarchy of stupid drugs that are out there, NyQuil chicken is pretty low.
That might be safe.
Yeah,
compared to fucking Xanax or not Xanax, but what's amphetamine?
Fentanyl and all that shit. Yeah.
It's better than that. But please don't fucking try it. We shouldn't have to say that.
Obviously.
But don't try it.
Drunk says, I got $5. Say that. Why only $5, man? You don't bet $5.
Man, you got money, man.
Drunk, we know you got racks, man. I got $5. Say they end up firing him when the big story drops. Yeah, I think so. That's probably likely. Yeah. If enough outrage is made about it, they'll definitely just let him go.
Yeah. I think that's what they're gonna end up doing anyway.
Yeah.
I just don't see how he can come back. Like, just imagine after the suspension, he come back like everything normal. I'm sure the person he was messing around with probably still gonna be there. So I think it's best if they move on, because you don't want that lingering on.
No, I agree.
Just imagine it. Like, we talk about the Deshaun Watson stuff, how that stuff can linger on during his suspension and all that. Just imagine this going on every Boston Celtics game, and like, oh, this is the interim coach for the Celtics. The previous coach is suspended because he was sleeping around with somebody.
Yeah.
So it's just like, man, you better off just moving on.
I think so too. At this point, they're going to find another coach during this whole interim season.
Yeah. And honestly, if the coach do good, if the coach get them deep in the playoffs, they might roll with him.
Yeah.
That's the scene. It seemed like that's what Boston pretty much preparing to do.
I think so.
How you feel about people? I saw a lot of people bringing up, because Deshaun Watson name started trending during this too.
Of course.
Saying, hey, Deshaun Watson, 24 women, and he only got 11 games. But this guy had consensual sex, and he got a whole season. How you feel about that?
Like, look, man. I feel more is like, look, people. I didn't even think about that, honestly. So I got to think about my response to it. But I feel like naturally, being an NFL quarterback, there's only so many with that type of skill set, man. So somebody's going to take Deshaun Watson no matter what. People took Michael Vick after the dog fighting and he went to prison. People done took legit criminals and they played in the NFL again.
Yeah.
So the NFL head coach is more like, that's just not a super, like, you need a head coach for an NBA team.
Yeah.
But it's not like, if some shit happens, we have to keep him around no matter what because he's that crucial. Yeah. Unless you're a fucking Popovich or somebody of that caliber.
Yeah.
So that you're just naturally, your leash is going to be shorter. and they will cut bait easier. The NBA, the coach is always the first to get fired when shit goes bad.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if at the smallest sign of trouble, the coach is always the one to go.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening here. But the NBA, if somebody with a top 5 potential NFL quarterback skill set, you're just too worthy. You're too worthwhile for everybody to say, no, we're never going to have you play again. Yeah. Somebody's going to take you, man. Winning's going to be more important than morals for some team out there. There's 32 teams. Somebody's going to be like, nah, we'll take the risk. We need to win now.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, like, I'm not saying the coach isn't important, but that's probably the least important. If you like, I think Boston would be just fine. They could find somebody else, especially with that talent. But let's say it was Jaylen Brown who was the one messing around. They probably gonna hold on to him a little longer. They probably try to suspend him, maybe not even half the season. They probably give him like a good 10.
If Kevin Durant got caught up, you think they're going to suspend him? Number one, he missed enough time with injury anyway. You think they're going to suspend him for sleeping with a coworker, man?
No.
Shit, we go to 5 games. And
if that, back in there. Yeah, they probably wouldn't even do that.
Just fine them $5,000.
Yeah. So I think, but yeah, a lot of people was bringing up Deshaun Watson and all that stuff too. So.
It's not the same, man.
Yeah, it's totally different, man. And look, man, like in hindsight, Deshaun Watson probably should have got way more than he, especially the stuff he went through.
Yeah.
But it was it came out to be a civil case. And I don't know, man. Just
we've been through all that already.
Yeah, the NFL is totally different from the NBA.
Yeah.
And so it's unfortunate, and you can always line up different situations, and it don't make sense, but that's the way of the world, man.
No, that's true. And John brings up a good point. He says the problem is he went to the finals. That's the only reason they're taking their time. Yeah, I agree. If they missed the playoffs, they would have cut bait immediately.
Yeah. If he was a bad coach,
but the fact it's just weird that you have a successful a black coach, which brings up that in
that's
itself.
Another.
And you have a black coach who was successful, and then you fired him and didn't say why you fired him. That would be a bad look.
Yeah.
Especially for the Celtics.
Yeah.
We already don't like because they racist. So that's the reason why I think they're trying to approach it with more care and nuance, but they're not doing a great job of that. But I don't know how you can do a good job at this point, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But the main question is, Figgy, why are we not talking about Brett Favre?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sick of seeing this shit. I have to say, I'm sorry, dog. The Brett Favre shit, people I respect have kept saying this shit. And do y'all realize, number one, I'm not always on Twitter no more, but I knew about the Brett Favre shit when it happened, man.
Yeah.
I saw every sports account say something about it. I saw every sports talk show, national, ESPN, Undisputed, Fox Sports, talk about it. So when people say we're not talking about the Brett Favre stuff enough, I don't understand what they mean.
Yeah.
I feel like when people say that, they mean like people in general aren't talking about
Sports Center should be breaking news. Brett Favre.
But no, here's the truth. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
Because number one is Brett Favre.
Yeah.
Retired and done went to the fucking boondocks to live his life. He ain't got no
He's
NFL.
Not like an anchor.
Exactly.
He's not like a sports reporter.
He's not a coach. He's not an analyst.
Yeah.
He disappeared after retirement.
Yeah.
We don't know. He ain't even done a Wrangler commercial in a while. So, and number two, you have a story of misappropriating or basically stealing from a charity, which really sucks, but a lot of people do that shit.
Yeah.
And it involves stock options, all this boring stuff people don't care about. And then you have Ime Udoka. And this has like all of Black Twitter's favorite storylines in one. You got a famous Black woman getting cheated on with potentially a white woman. You got NBA, which is his own Twitter, You got every racial aspects, everything that Twitter likes to talk
just
about.
Just the juicy shit too. Just him smashing somebody, and that's in the organization. That's juicy enough. So
it's that people are going to talk about that more because it's more interesting to them and it's more juicy and scandalous.
Yeah,
there's nothing scandalous about Brett Favre except all you can say is that's fucked up. Throw him in jail.
He's a shitty person for
exactly.
that. Yeah.
But when people say we're not talking about it enough, I don't understand what they mean by it.
Yeah. I really don't get it. And to me, people should we know how the media works, man. Like, to me, that's like saying, why you ain't talking about this charity that Laramie Tunsil did on the news? And look, and look, and that's the one thing I love about our podcast, because we could do whatever the fuck we want. If Laramie Tunsil want to hop on and talk about his charity, we can do that. But a lot of these big stations, they can't really afford to do that, unfortunately. They got to stick with the big news, the hot news, and the stuff that move the needle. So, Sports Center, they can't talk about the charity work in the first. And it's fun. It's funny because I think Arian Foster and Jamel Hill kind of had that conversation.
Yeah.
And Arian Foster was pretty much like, hey, why y'all don't talk about positive stuff? And Jamel Hill, out of all people, was like, hey, that's not how it work. We can't take a whole Sports Center, just talk about all the good things. You know what I mean? We gotta report news, we gotta talk about stuff that, that hits. And I think this is one of those situations. And it's kind of shocking to see how people was like, hey, why are we not talking about this enough? It's like, man, like, that's not really, I think it is news because he is a Hall of Fame quarterback and, it's fucked up. But I think, like, that stuff, to me, that stuff go on the back end.
Yeah.
It's not like front page breaking news. So, like, I was trying to think of something like, I guess like a former black retired player that's not in the spotlight. If they did something like that, would that be on the news? Now, if something like that happened where, let's say Karl Malone. Karl Malone's not in the spotlight at all. If he did something like that, would that shit be plastered all over the news and Sports Center? Would they be breaking in with that type of news, or would they just kind of sweep that to the back? I feel like they would kind of sweep that to the back.
I mean, I'm sure there are people who don't know about the Darren Sharper case. The fact that he was running around worse than Bill Cosby, like drugging and raping women nationwide for years. I'm sure there's plenty of people who don't know about that.
Yeah.
So basically, that's funny you bring up the whole, whenever athletes always wonder, why don't you talk about the positive things? Why don't you talk about what good we do? I would want those people to ask themselves this. When you watch TV and movies, do you watch like positive, nothing bad happens, only good things, helping kids, cleaning up trash type of movies and shows? Or do you watch shows with sex, drugs, and violence?
Yeah. Or what type of music do you listen to? Do you listen to the positive music and
or do you listen to drill killing nigga shit? Because y'all know what's attracted, and y'all know sports are entertainment. We like the drama. We like the crazy shit. And that plays into it, man.
Yeah,
so
that's just the way of the world, man. Like even us, when the whole Deshaun Watson stuff was going on, we playing the fucking Tony Busby press conference and all that stuff. I hated it, but the ratings was going through the roof. People wanted to hear that shit. And, that's the type of shit that they, wanted to go with. So, you can't I couldn't really be mad at it because people was tuned in to hear what he had to say about Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Now, we couldn't do that shit with let's say Brett Favre had a press conference. That shit wouldn't hit the same.
Nobody would care.
Man. I don't think nobody would really care like that. I think, most of the people that was complaining about the Brett Favre thing was black. which I understand because I think he was allegedly stealing money from black folks from I guess welfare or some shit. I ain't really look into the story like that, but I can see where it hits home for black folks to be like, damn, that's kind of fucked up. But if you work in media, man, you know how the game go. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of the shit we talk about is, we can't talk about the stuff we really want to talk about. You kind of got to go with the flow.
Yeah.
And it's a process. I get a lot of people calling saying, hey, why don't you guys talk about the North Shore football game that happened? It was a good game. And it's like, yeah, we're a sports station, but that's not how it works, man. It's a company thing. We can't have a full, segment about high school football. Like, unless it makes sense somehow, that's not how it works. So that's how I kind of looked at it.
Yeah.
Because it was another time where I think it was a offensive lineman for the Seattle Seahawks. Remember he beat the crap out of his wife, who was a black woman. It was a white dude. He beat her up, and she looked real bad.
Yeah.
And people was like, "Oh, why we ain't talking?"
Because nobody knew who the fuck he was before that shit happened, man.
And then the thing is, I think he ended up getting charged for it. He went to jail. I don't know if he's in jail now, but he actually got in trouble for it. So what else is it to talk about? So
exactly.
It's not like he got away.
Talk about it more, the police will arrest him.
Yeah, it's not like a Breonna Taylor situation where you're trying to get justice. Like the dude got a mugshot. He's in trouble for it. What else can Sports Center do?
Look, here's the truth, man, and here's the reason why. Because it always comes to whataboutism. Yeah. It always comes to whenever a black athlete or a black person is in trouble. I get where it comes from. Like, look, I understand how you look at the news, it would seem like black people are always painted in a bad light.
Yeah.
And sometimes we do it to ourselves, unfortunately, but you just look at things and you just wonder naturally, like, would you cover this story the same way if this person was white? So I get where it comes from, but people just say this to kind of defend. The same shit happened with R. Kelly. I saw that a bunch of times. When the R. Kelly shit was going down, people kept asking, why is nobody talking about Harvey Weinstein?
Yeah,
I'm like, look.
Or Elvis.
Yeah, or anybody. It's like, look, Harvey Weinstein, every single day of his trial was covered.
Yeah.
Y'all just not looking at it because it's not on fucking Shade Room, man. Yeah. But if y'all look at actual news, you would see every single day of his court trial was publicized. You heard witnesses, you heard the prosecution, you heard the defense. Everything was publicized. Same thing with Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell. All this shit was out there.
Yeah.
People just keep bringing this up to defend like shitty black people.
Yeah.
And it's annoying, man, because some of these people deserve, no matter what, like whatever they did, don't take away what fucking R. Kelly did, man. Or any scumbag that did some bullshit. Like, they deserve to be raked through the coals. Like, look, what they did was fucked up, man. Yeah. And you can't always play it as, what about this other white person?
Why are we not talking about this other person?
Because they face justice too a lot of times. So let's not be obtuse about that point, man. That's all I ask, dog. Read actual news and don't just depend on say cheese and and the Shade Room for your media intake, because then you'll never see any white person in any news.
Yeah. Shout out to Say Cheese, man. They kind of be on it, man.
Yeah, dog, I don't like them, man.
Really?
They just be on. I feel like they're one of the ones like just feeding misinformation because they post shit without no sources or links.
Yeah.
So whenever I see them post some shit, I'm like, is this even real?
Some of the stuff I like from them is the little shit that I probably wouldn't have never seen. Like just little random shit. Like, oh, this person in Delaware caught a blue fish and all this other shit where I'm just like, damn, I never even seen that, or something funny. But yeah, man, I don't know. They taking over the world. They like the DJ Academics media at this point.
At this point, like the new fucking media takeout, all that shit, man. They taking over. But yeah, I don't like anybody who reports news with no sources.
Yeah.
I feel like too many black news places do that shit, dog. I don't like it.
You're a real journalist. That's why.
I just want to know what I'm reading is true.
I know. No, I respect that. No, I like that. I like that.
Like, dog, how many legit journalists have been tricked by ball sack sports?
Yes.
Because they fucking put an infographic and these niggas like Shannon Sharp goes on Undisputed and talks about it. And Stephen A. Smith talks about it. It's like, look, y'all are supposed to be trained journalists. And you see a picture with a caption on. Yeah. And you say, oh, well, this is true.
Yep.
What the fuck? Y'all even look for a link? Y'all look for any source?
Yeah, the story or nothing.
It's insane, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's too many people like that out there.
Yeah.
Drunk says, what is that unlock sim thing y'all got in the top corner? Y'all got a sponsor? Well, Tab Tech Unlock is always the honorary sponsor of the podcast, man. That's our boy Tab got a service. Check that out, tabtechunlocksim.com, I think it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tab been supporting the podcast. He's been a day one supporter. So we support his business as well. And that's just how that works out.
Yeah.
But we are taking money.
If you know somebody with a business and want to advertise, put their little symbol right there, logo right there. Let us know.
We selling ad space. Our shit gonna look like a fucking soccer jersey.
I know. we gonna have MD Anderson.
Yeah, we gonna have Ciroc. We gonna have all the black people shit.
Sponsored by Hennessy.
I'm down for it, man. Yeah. Wow, we spent all that time on one time.
I know.
It's like 2 hours.
I know.
Fucking podcast.
We're gonna have to run through the rest of this shit.
Dog. I know. Okay. Other things that happened this week. It's gonna be a fucking 5-hour podcast, man. Yeah. Other things that happened this week. Okay, so DaBaby has a new song out. And I guess he's kind of thirsty for attention because we ain't talk about him in a minute.
That's exactly what it was.
Because he has a new song out where he alleges that he had a sexual relationship with Megan Thee Stallion before Tory Lanez reportedly shot her.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's basically it. He just had a song where he just says that.
Yeah. Did you hear it?
Yeah, I did. But do you have a clip?
I was looking for it.
I heard the line. I didn't hear the actual whole song.
Yeah.
But I did
I just heard it. I ain't even go to the damn song. I just heard it online. And that was it, man.
Yeah, same here.
Here we go. Let me play it.
So how you gonna brag about how you kept it real and didn't say shit, but then say it on the song?
Yeah.
So it's bragging on your dick.
Yeah.
Like not cool at one point, then cool years later.
Why are dudes still bragging about who they smash?
It's corny, man.
I never did like that, man. I never did like that. I think I told this story before how it was this girl I was messing with back in the day. And I ended up telling I told one homeboy, and I'm like, yeah, I was, she was at my house, blah, 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 blah. And this was during the time, remember back in the day where they had that like anonymous website where you could ask somebody questions. Mm-hmm. I think it was ask.fm or some shit where you could just click the link in their bio and somebody can ask anybody anything. And, you don't know who it is. And somebody gonna say, hey, did you fuck Figgy? And I was just like, who? They asked the girl that I messed with that. So I knew exactly who said that. So I'm like, this motherfucker going around. I'm like, it was kind of my fault. I'm like, I shouldn't even said nothing. But the motherfucker going around pretty much telling people. I was just like, man, that's the corniest shit you could possibly do, man. Like, you could tell me who you mess around with. I won't say a word.
Yes.
Like, I'm not saying anything, but I'm like, that's the corniest shit a nigga can do, man.
No, it's true. I knew somebody who worked here that had a fucking big mouth, man. And I probably said some shit I shouldn't have because I didn't realize it till later. But it's like anybody who tells me way too much about somebody else's business and is a man, I just don't trust you, period, dog.
Yeah.
When you tell me who other people are fucking, I just don't. I don't trust you with any information at that point, man.
Yeah.
But DaBaby, yeah. I mean, everybody I think was on DaBaby's side a little bit to an extent. I mean, all the shit he said that got him supposedly canceled. He wasn't really canceled. He just kind of fell off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't understand what he stood to gain from this aside from getting talked about for a day on social media.
Yeah.
Like, now you confirm you're never going to work with anybody in the industry really like that. I mean, because Megan Thee Stallion's Rock Nation, she's connected. Fucking, if Jay want to put the clamps on you, he can.
Yeah.
So I don't understand what divulging this information was supposed to do for him. Like, who cares? I know they fell out, presumably because he brought Tory Lanez out on his show on the same shit that Megan Thee Stallion was, and Tory Lanez got in trouble for that too. So yeah, I don't get it, man. It's just corny. I agree, Drunk. It's shit's just lame.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, it's just like, he didn't even like try to dress it up or drop a metaphor or a double entendre. He said it straight up, I was fucking on Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
Like, damn, at least like fucking have us guessing who it was, but it was silly, man.
Yeah, it's just cool. I've never been a fan of that. And it show you that he needs some type of attention, man. Because last time we talked about him, he didn't sell out a show. Or I think he sold like only 700 tickets. Something very low where he had to cancel the show.
Yeah.
So and this is the part that I hate too, because now people gonna point back at they blackballed him. They blackballed him. He couldn't have said a damn thing on that stage, man. I think it would have played out similar to this, because I felt like he was making the same shit anyway. Like, we was already talking about how he ain't made nothing in a long time that was good, and then the other shit happened, which the whole blackball thing. I think this is gonna happen anyway. But now he got an excuse to say, "Oh yeah, they tried to cancel me, they fucked me up," type thing.
I mean, it's pop. The only thing he lost is like mainstream attention outside of music. Yeah. Like, if he got a good PR and publicist, he could have been on commercials. He could have been like the Chance the Rapper thing. Yeah. Chance the Rapper was I don't think his music warranted the attention he got outside of it. Yeah. He was on Super Bowl commercials with Backstreet Boys and shit and all this crazy stuff, man. Yeah. I think DaBaby could have been somewhere in there in the mix. He could have been doing commercials. He could have been doing mainstream stuff, maybe appeared in movies, but now he'll never get that because of what happened. Yeah. But I mean, music wise, as long as if you make hits, Chris Brown has proved this time and time again. R. Kelly too, back in the day. If you make hits, that's all that matters.
People don't care. Yeah. Yeah. As long as you bringing it, you making hit music, people will look the other way, man. And we seen it to the highest level. Yeah. R. Kelly and shit, even Chris Brown, because you still got the Rihanna picture. You know what I mean? To show what happened. Yep. And he got past that. And look, man, you got to make the good music, man. That's all that matters. If you still making good music and you still putting up numbers, man, they will keep rolling with you.
No, that's 100% true, man. Drunk asked a question. You say, I see a lot of artists these days dropping albums with zero lead up. Is that the new wave? Yeah, it's been for a while. I think it's actually reverting back to artists actually doing a lead up now. Because I feel like before, everybody just dropped an album with no kind of hype. Now they at least give you like a week warning. Yeah. Plus. But I got to say, because Beyonce, I want to talk about this for a minute. Beyonce started the whole wave of surprise drop.
Surprise albums.
With the self-titled.
Yeah.
But now, like, look at her latest album, man.
That was a nice long lead up.
Yeah, but people are saying this is like the worst Beyonce rollout of all time.
Really?
Album-wise. Yeah. Because think about it. It's been months, I feel. It feels like it's been months. When did she drop that album?
The end of July.
Yeah.
I want to say.
So it's been a while, man.
About 2 months.
We still don't have any video. We still don't have any performance of any of these songs live. All we got was the used album.
Yeah.
So is she trying something new here? Like, I don't know if this is the new wave of not having anything to support your album outside of the album itself.
Yeah.
But what do you think about that, man? What do you think Beyonce's strategy and Rock Nation's strategy is with Beyonce here? Do you think she's gonna drop again?
Another album again, or just
like at the end, before the end of the year?
It seemed like she is. I don't think she is. I think it's probably gonna be next year around the same time as the other album. But this is kind of bizarre. Like no video, no nothing. And
no tour announced.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe I'm not sure, man. That's kind of strange, especially being Beyonce, because she can make all she gotta do is announce the tour date, and she's on. Maybe my timeline a little different, but I haven't really seen nobody really talking about the album no more.
Yeah.
And I haven't gone back to it since that week.
Of course.
But I hear the one song, the Break My Soul.
Yeah.
But outside of that, man, it seemed like it's, I don't want to say it's a dud, but it seemed like it just came and went.
I mean, everything to an extent comes and goes these days, but I feel like Beyonce, with the time she took out, the way this was promoted as like her comeback, get the people moving album, I expected to hear Break My Soul in every commercial at this point, to the point where I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Yeah.
I ain't seen a video, nothing like, and I'm not a Beyonce huge fan, so I don't really give that much of a shit, but it's just confusing to me. I'm just wondering what your take on it was, because I don't know what their strategy is here, man. Part of me is wondering if Beyonce is okay. Like, did something happen? Like, is there a reason why she hadn't dropped anything to support this new album, which is supposed to be so big and be her comeback, So I don't know, it's just weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
We'll see. Drunk says the buzz around Beyonce album pretty much gone. I think, except for like hardcore Beyonce fans.
Yeah.
Nobody else talking about this album.
See, I don't really count them, because every time you say, hey, like, ain't nobody really listening to Beyonce. Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Like, of course you do. Like, he one of the hardcore fans.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just talking about in general, just a music person. Like, I don't really hear people saying, man, this Beyonce album's still going.
Yeah.
Like, we seen this with a lot of albums where it was like, damn, I'm still listening to Donda.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of people are still bringing up Donda for a minute. I really don't hear this with, the Beyonce album. And to be fair, I ain't really hear that with Kendrick either.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of people say, hey, I'm still bumping that Kendrick.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of came and went too. But at least
Kendrick dropped videos. He did a tour right after. Exactly. He's still doing a tour.
Exactly. So that kind of kept it going a little bit. So I understand that part, but Beyonce just dropped that album and went back in the house.
Yeah. And I haven't heard I've looked at people bringing this up about how this is the worst Beyonce album rollout, and I ain't heard one good defense. The only defense I see is, well, she's Beyonce. She can do whatever she wants.
She busy. She got kids. She got the family.
I'm sure she's going to drop something soon. Well, fucking obviously, but it's been fucking months. Yeah. So you're going to wait until wintertime to drop something for this summer album? Yeah. It's supposed to be the album of the summer. So yeah, it's very strange. I don't know what's going on with Beyonce, man.
I wonder, I don't know how the sales went with this album, but do you think she might be satisfied with the outcome of this album, or she might be a little disappointed?
I mean, publicly, I don't think she's ever going to cop to caring about sales. But the fact that she went all out with the physicals and the vinyls and stuff like that, I would say at the very least the label expected more.
Yeah, but see, I asked that because I'm curious if, let's say the album did amazing. Let's say she went platinum first week and it's still going. I'm sure she would capitalize off of that and say, hey, let's get a tour going. Let's drop the video. I know she got some videos ready in the tub, but she ain't drop them yet. But I'm kind of curious if she even, is she kind of disappointed? If she feel like it's a flop, or she like, fuck it, I'll worry about it later.
Jay told her, he was like, I went through this with Blueprint too, okay? You're just going to pretend like it didn't happen. Oh, man. But, I don't know what's going on with Beyonce, man. It's interesting, and I've seen it being picked up on more and more, even by the Beehive. Yeah, people are asking what the fuck is going on with Beyonce. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. So other things that happened this week. Oh, you got to talk about this Kanye clip, man. So Kanye ended his partnership with The Gap. He terminated it. Apparently, he's still trying to get out of the shit with Adidas. There's all kinds of controversy about it, and it's weird stuff because I guess he leaked the terms of him terminating his deal. And basically they said like he couldn't do anything. He can't release shoes with Yeezy. He can't do anything with the Yeezy brand because they own it, and he terminated the contract early. So it seemed like he was very restricted in what he can do fashion-wise in the future. But he did say he got lawyers and they're going to look into it. I don't know. He had a very weird voice in this interview, by the way, that white people voice he uses when. Yeah. So he also admitted that Sway might have had the answers. Let's listen to what he actually said in this Good Morning America clip. Yeah. Yeah. So he admitted 10 years later that Sway was right. I never understood why Sway got clowned there, man, because what he was saying made sense to me.
Yeah. And that was 10 years ago.
Yes.
And to me, anybody like right now, all we say is, hey, you got the money. Why don't you start to do it your own?
Mm-hmm.
Do it yourself type thing. That make a whole bunch of sense. We talk about that with music. We talk about that with clothes and fashion and all this other stuff. So I guess it was just a funny clip, but I don't understand why he was the butt of the joke right there.
Yeah. Wait, John, did you not hear the audio? I thought we were playing the audio. I heard it in my headphones, but we had the audio playing on that tweet. My bad if you didn't hear it, but basically it was just Kanye talking about how, he's terminating the deal with Adidas and Gap. And, she brought up the fact that he argued with Sway, and then he admits now that Sway had the answers about starting it on his own and not begging for approval and acceptance from these established fashion brands. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it made sense then. It makes sense now. But I understand why Sway got clowned for that shit, because I felt like he was speaking facts, man. I mean, I understand when people say, like, not everybody can say, I hate when people say, any artist out there, independent or otherwise, oh, why you need a label? There are reasons why you need a music label.
You got pros and cons to everything,
exactly.
Man. Because some people are fine with being signed to a label because you don't have to do as much. Look, man, being independent, I know it sounds cool and all that stuff, but you got to put in a lot of work, man. Just think of everything. Like, this podcast right here is an independent podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We do everything. Like, everything you see is me or you.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a social media person. We the social media people.
Yes.
We don't have a graphics designer because I do the graphics design shit. Everything, like, just as an artist, first of all, if you independent, you got to have some type of little of a team. And, you might have to pay them. Shit might have to come out of your pocket to get this artwork done. You got to pay for the beats. You got to pay for the studio, to all that other stuff. Like, you got to do it yourself. If you have a label, they might cover most of that stuff. They might, it might come out of your budget, but at least you got a budget from them. And you could pay for you could get the studio time. You got the connections. And that's the other thing about the labels. They had connections. So if you want to feature from this person, they could get that to you easier than just being an independent artists. So yeah, it's pros and cons. Like some people like it independent, where you get your money, you get more to cut than you would at a label.
Mhm.
But some people like the label life, where you just do the music and you got enough money, you cool, you're not complaining, and that's it. So I was never one of those people to say, oh, just stick independent. Just stick independent is hard.
Mhm.
and like doing this podcast like this is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I can, if we can, find the right situation for us where we can both get paid and be happy.
What up, Barstool? Holla at us, man.
I know.
Title, whoever.
Yeah. Like I would be fine with that. I'm not sitting there saying, oh no, we got to be independent. Because a lot of people look at the word independent like, yeah, that's something. Independent don't mean shit if you ain't making no money.
Yep.
So if you could tell me I can make $100,000 a year just doing this, I'm perfectly fine with that. I don't know about you, but I'm fine with that.
Nah, 100%, dog.
Yeah.
Our bad about the audio. I'm hearing it fine on my headphones. I guess it's not playing on the stream.
It might have been maybe it was a maybe it was a damn it could have been a copyright or something, because they be weird about this shit.
Yeah, I don't know. That's strange. Yeah, I don't know. We heard it fine, but sorry about that. It'll be on the audio version of the podcast, so that's an incentive for y'all to listen to it all over again. Yeah. Okay, to see what you miss. But our bad. YouTube be acting funny, man. Like fucking, we trying to do this Twitch and YouTube stream thing, but they fucking cracking down this fucking copyright bullshit, man. It's pretty annoying.
Yeah.
But so sorry about that if y'all couldn't hear the audio. That's weak, but whatever. Y'all go to title and we got to play break. Hey, I'll be down for it, man.
I would play that. We could break down the Beyonce album again.
Yeah, we already do Jay-Z medleys for free.
Yeah.
So if we get paid for it, definitely we gonna ratchet that up. So
like this album ain't that bad after all.
Yeah. We got to revisit our Jay-Z and Beyonce ratings.
Yeah.
Drunk asked, do y'all think Yeezys would have blew up as big as they are without a major brand behind it? I think yes. I don't know. Like Adidas adds something to Yeezy, definitely.
Yeah.
But I feel like Yeezy been putting out bullshit for a minute that sold and had no name brand to it.
Yeah, I think I feel like Adidas let Kanye do whatever he want. So I think that was the freedom. I don't think Nike would have did that. I think Nike kind of had some restrictions a little bit, but Adidas just kind of let him do whatever, and that shit still sold. So I think if he would have did it on his own, let's say it was 10 years ago, I don't know if Yeezy would be as big as it is right now. But definitely if he do it on his own now, it's shit, fuck Nike, fuck all that shit. I think it definitely sell.
I think it'll sell, but I think quality will dip definitely, because we know what Kanye does when he puts stuff out himself, like all his tour merch. We found out he was charging like fucking $150 for some t-shirts on Gildan. Yeah, and they still have the Gildan tag on it.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, man. So I think the quality, if he puts out his own shoes independently, I think the quality will fucking degrade by a whole lot. Yeah. Because Adidas does have standards when it comes to this shit. Yeah. And Kanye necessarily don't. He just wants shit that looks fly. I don't think he really cares about the durability of his shoes that much. Yeah. So I would be worried about that. But yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, good for him for capitalizing on his brand finally and doing something, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think nothing else to say.
I'm kind of curious. I wonder if another company would try to take in Yeezys, because he was at Nike. I wouldn't be surprised if Nike tried to make a run at Kanye again, but he had Nike, you had Adidas. I wouldn't be surprised. I wonder if another company, Reebok or something like that, would be like, hey, we'll let you have this shit and just do whatever you want. I wonder if another company like that would make him an offer, or he just gonna stick and stay independent.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at this point, I think he's kind of blackballed from those kind of labels. I don't want to say blackballed as in, like you'll never work, but I think
kind of like the Antonio Brown treatment.
Exactly. He's too much of a headache to work with now, I feel.
Yeah.
So I feel like the fact that the Gap and Adidas couldn't work with him, I don't think anybody else going to be like, hey, we'll work with Kanye. We'll do whatever you want, because what that entails is just too much for any major corporation to deal with.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man, but we'll see what happens. Tab says all the real hustlers, like my favorite rapper, Young Dolph, go independent. To be fair, a lot of rappers have been fake independent that we know of, that we thought were independent, man. A lot of rappers have like publishing deals, all stuff that you want to. It depends on your definition of independent.
Yeah.
Everybody needs some help in some areas.
I think it's smart. I think it's smart to, go corporate if needed, because look at not Tidal, but look at Versus.
Mm-hmm.
That was completely independent when it started.
Yeah.
And, they ended up getting the big bag for it. And by the way, they ended up settling that lawsuit too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I don't know how much they settled for, but they ended up squaring that away. But that was just something awesome, IG type shit. And they ended up getting, 50 million or whatever the price was. I think that's kind of smart. I think it wouldn't have been smart if they decided to keep it independent, because they wouldn't have got that 50 mil. And you see where Versus is going now. So it's kind of taking a big dip. So they capitalized and got, 50 mil off of something they was doing for free.
Yeah.
On IG. So
the idea is always to hustle your way into that deal.
Yeah.
That happens with podcasts too, like Gilly the Kid and what's his name, who got the $1 million worth of game podcast.
Yeah.
That started off as independent. They were just putting that together.
Yeah.
Got bought up by Barstool, and now I do a Barstool. Like, same thing with a lot of rappers now. They start with an independent movement. They get offered the bag and they take it.
Yeah.
But everybody starts independent. I mean, there's very few people that start with the backing of the label already when they coming out the gate. So, but yeah, I mean, eventually you will get to a point where it's just too much work to remain independent, usually.
Yeah.
Some people can manage it, some people can't.
Yeah.
So it depends on how big you want to get and how big you see yourself getting.
Yeah. But, like I wouldn't mind staying independent for this podcast if we was bringing in a lot of money and, we actually had enough money to pay workers to, edit videos and upload the podcast and create graphics and, clips and stuff like that. I wouldn't mind at that point. But, if you told me somebody came in here and said, hey, we love your podcast, we'll pay you, this amount, and that will take care of your families for a long time. Like, I'm gonna roll with that at this point, man. I can't, I want to be smart and try to, because I feel like we are content creators. If this don't work out how we thought it was gonna work out, we could create something else. So, I think it's all about being smart and, try to get that money, capitalize with that money and branch off and do something else.
No, I agree. I agree 100%, man. I mean, every case is different for everybody. So that's just how it is. Yeah. Drunk says Pujols just hit home run number 700. Good for him. I don't care too much because he always cooked the Astros.
Yeah, I was just about to say, how you feel about Pujols? I ain't really care about him because I'm from Cleveland.
I don't care for him. Like, good for him. I mean, he's played so fucking long, man.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I was a baby when he was first in the league, and now he's fucking still playing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, good for him. But, I mean, I'm an Astros fan, so I don't really care for him. He's cooked us way too many times. Yeah. He's kind of like the, what's his name? That Colts receiver who always cooks us. T.Y. Hilton. Yeah. T.I. Hilton for the Astros. So, yeah, good for him, but I don't really care.
Yeah. Drunk from St. Louis. So
yeah.
That's why. Okay. Shout out to St. Louis, man.
Shout out, man. Tab said if somebody offered him $1 million for his business, he'd sell it. Hell yeah, man. Get you a Lamborghini truck.
Yeah.
I feel you. Other things that happened. The last current event thing that we saw, Taylor Swift turned down the Super Bowl. Apparently, it was announced today that instead of Pepsi doing a halftime show, it was going to be Apple Music.
And that's interesting.
Yeah. They announced that today. And it also was rumored that Taylor Swift was going to do the Taylor Swift, the halftime show for the Super Bowl next year. But apparently she turned it down. Apparently she is saying that it's not going to happen until she's finished re-recording her first 6 albums, presumably because she does not want her old label to get revenue from the songs she performs on the Super Bowl stage. Yeah. So I don't know how long that'll take. But until then, apparently she is not doing a Super Bowl halftime show. And we're talking about this. I'm kind of surprised she hasn't done it.
Yeah, me too. And, I'm not the biggest Taylor Swift fan. Mm-hmm. So when I heard that she was going to do the halftime show, I was just like, what? Like, oh, come on, man. But then I thought about it. I'm like, that actually make a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. She's kind of in that same category of a Bruno Mars, the Katy Perry's, the Lady Gaga's. Like, I look, every time I see her perform, she always put on a good performance. So I could see her doing the halftime show. I'm surprised she didn't. I'm surprised it took this long.
Yeah, me too. I don't know, man. I had nothing to say about that else. We got to ask our...
I'm kind of curious because if this is a Apple Music production, mm-hmm. I'm kind of curious of who on the I guess who's next in line. Maybe somebody else that's kind of in that same group.
I feel like they're not going to do rap 2 times in a row.
Oh,
so it definitely won't be no damn rappers.
Hell no.
that was probably a once in every 10-year type event, maybe.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was somebody like Bad Bunny. Because he been kind of getting a lot of he one of the hottest artists out here right now.
He is, but I feel like the Super Bowl always skews towards artists who have older hits.
That's true.
Taylor Swift now is like, look, if you're a Taylor Swift fan back in the day, you're a grown adult now. She's been around for 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
But Bad Bunny is still fairly new, especially in terms of like mainstream success. Yeah. I don't think he's there yet to where he could do a Super Bowl halftime show. People would know.
He's kind of too new.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But he would definitely eventually do one.
Yeah.
But I don't think he would do it now. But who else would do it that hasn't done it? I don't know, man. I feel like there's not too many stars out there.
They're going to have to circle back to the Bruno Mars.
Yeah, maybe a Beyonce.
Silk Sonic.
Rihanna, that would be crazy, but I don't think she's going to perform.
Yeah, it's funny. So my wife, not too long ago, she like, Rihanna got some music coming out. And I'm like, wait, what? Because when my wife break news to me, I feel offended because I'm like, how didn't I see this? Because she's not into the entertainment news like that. And I'm like, where you see that at? Oh, they showed her going in the studio. I'm like, look, sweetie, she been going in the studio for like 15 years, man.
Yes. She's the new Dr. Dre detox.
That's exactly what I brought up. I'm like, this is the same thing as Dr. Dre. Every time you see Dr. Dre in the studio, don't hold your breath on it. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, don't hold your breath for a Rihanna song or album. Like she been doing this since the anti album. That was her last album.
Yes.
Since the anti album, you've been seeing her in and out the studio. So
yeah. And when it drops, I won't believe it exists until I see it and hear it.
Yeah.
Now, I don't care what gets announced. I don't care what gets rumored until I hear it with my own ears. I won't believe
and then she going in and out the studio with A$AP Rocky.
Yes.
So that could be for his album.
Exactly. And it probably is. I mean, he's been definitely been more active in music now. So.
Yeah, it's definitely like why do she need an album right now? All the shit she got going on, Fendi making $1 billion. You heard Jay-Z said it. Why does she need to, she had one of the best albums probably in her career. I don't think she's going to top that. So why do she need to, why is she pressured to drop an album at this point?
I mean, I feel like, especially as a young artist, you have a shelf life naturally.
Yeah.
And every year she don't put out an album is a year that shelf life being used up.
Yeah.
So I feel like eventually, I mean, she can't be 40 years old before she drops her next album, man.
Yeah.
Like she's got to take advantage of her youth in everything she's got going on, I feel, and it drops something at some point.
Yeah.
Technically she don't have to do anything, but I feel like, especially as a pop star, like I said, you have a shelf life in this game, man. Yeah. Nobody want to hear Madonna albums no more, really.
Yeah.
She's 60 years old now. Yeah. So, I mean, there's going to be a new Rihanna in about 10 years or so, and people will forget.
Yeah.
So
she only 34, man.
Yeah.
I ain't think, damn.
I mean, that's 1 year younger than me, man, and I feel old sometimes. So
yeah, she a couple months older than me.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
yeah, I don't know if I don't even know if she motivated I wouldn't be motivated to drop any music or not. I'll probably drop a song, a song I got in the vault or something, but I'm not motivated and feel pressure to top the anti-album.
Yeah.
Especially with all the other shit I got going on. So
I don't know. Maybe she's done, but I don't think she's fully done with music yet. But I don't know. At this point, it's been so long.
She helping A$AP Rocky.
Yeah. I can't remember the last artist who took a really long layoff and came out with a great album. Kendrick, obviously, he had a good album. But
I think the only person, or hip hop wise, I would probably say shit, what the fuck is his name? The dude that made the album with Jay-Z.
Jay Electronica.
Yeah, that was probably the closest, where it's just like, all right,
that was disappointing compared to how long we fucking waited, man. So I wouldn't. I'm a Jay Electronica fan, but in terms of the wait was like 15 fucking years. No, it was not worth it. I have to say, man, it was just too long of a wait.
I thought it was all right. I thought the album was all right.
The album was good. It was a good album, but the wait was just too long, man. Like that was just too long. Nothing could match. The same thing with Black Star 2.
Yeah.
Black Star 2 was a good album. People still haven't heard it because it's not on a real streaming app. But nothing can... The 15, 20 years to wait for an album is just too long no matter what.
Yeah.
And nothing can make that better, and nothing can live up to that.
Yeah.
And if Rihanna ain't careful, she gonna reach that territory where it's like no matter what she puts out, it's not gonna be worth waiting 10 years for the next album.
Yeah. Like at this point, I would probably just do some features or, help out my A$AP Rocky or something. But at that point, I'm like, I'm not, I know I can't top that last album.
Yeah.
So I might as well just ride off in the sunset. That's retire after the championship. Pull a Jordan.
Yeah, could be. Junk says, I think Rihanna low-key hates making music. Fashion maybe has always been her true love. One song for 15 years. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So,
you talking about Jay Electronica?
Jay Electronica, yeah, I know, right?
That's wild, man. Dog, I think he had that song when I was in high school, man. Yeah. I think I might have been in high school or shortly after high school, and he just dropped the album. I think it was during the pandemic. I want to say.
Yeah, no, it was, and I didn't.
That's crazy.
I didn't believe it until I heard it. Same thing.
Because I think I told you.
Yeah. I didn't think it was actually coming with Jay-Z too. That felt like a dream.
Yeah.
Like, no way a Jay Electronica with Jay-Z album. And
when I listened to the first song, I'm like, oh shit, Jay-Z kicked the album off. I'm like, oh shit. And then like 3 or 4 songs later, it was still Jay-Z. I'm like, what the fuck? Yep. Like, is this a collab album? That's crazy, man.
It is, man. And I remember when I first heard Jay Electronica back in like, I want to say like 2012. It's been so fucking long. I was in college. I would think I was in Austin at the time. I was talking about my homeboy who was a hip hop head, worked at Best Buy, and we were talking about Jay Electronica, this amazing new rapper who's gonna drop an album and destroy the game. And we waited 20 fucking years, like damn near, for that damn album, man. So yeah, it was ridiculous, dog.
Yeah.
Junk also says, speaking of performances, I watched Rolling Loud New York off and on. All performances were mid except Lil TJ. Moneybagg Yo performance was extremely mid for who he is. Yeah, performing is dead, man. Well, let's just admit that, because I've been looking at those Rolling Loud stuff too, and every time I see even like the supposed good performance like Playboi Carti,
they're
ass ass, man.
Yeah.
And here's the one thing I hate that people do now. It's not even the whole reference track playing in the background. Niggas don't even rap the songs no more, man.
Yeah.
They don't even rap to their own shit no more. They just sit, especially if it's a big song.
Yeah.
And I just saw Lucky. I talk about Lucky's album. I like the album. He does his shit too.
Damn.
He just sits there and lets the crowd rap.
Yeah.
XXXTentacion did that shit. He didn't perform anything, man. He just sat there
and let people
like rap along. It was ridiculous, man. So performing, I would say, is at an all-time low in hip-hop right now.
Yeah. And I realized that too, because a couple weeks ago, I actually got tickets to, I got them from the job, but I went to go see Lady Gaga.
Okay.
So I'm like, fuck it, I ain't doing nothing tonight. Mm-hmm. So, babe, let's go. And we went, and I forgot how much of a performer she was.
Yeah, she put on the show, man.
There was a lot going on where I was just like, oh, shit. Like, I was actually, and I realized how much songs I knew from Lady Gaga. Mm-hmm. Like, she kicked it off with Bad Romance. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, oh, shit. I'm like, so we stood up for the good portion of it. And then once she got into the new shit, I ain't know the new shit because I ain't been listening to her. But I'm like, damn, like she actually singing too. Like it was no reference track in the back or anything like that. She was twisting up the words and putting Houston in and Texas and she was like, yeah, hey, put your fucking ass up and singing. She was doing her thing. I'm like, damn. It's hard for me to try to go to a hip hop show, man. Mm-hmm. Like if I go, I gotta be off to the side. I can't go to a big ass festival or anything like that. It's not the same. I'm gonna get irritated. So yeah,
I would only pay for a rap show if it was somebody I knew who was a good performer or at least pretty good.
Somebody I would pay if it was somebody legend like a Scarface. I never been to a Scarface show. If he ever do another show, I would be like, fuck it, I'll pay for it. Just to, so I could say, hey, I've been to a Scarface concert. But anybody else, man, just like, man, fuck it. Nah, it's not worth it.
Yeah, I was thinking about the Nas and Wu-Tang show, but then I saw Method Man was going to do it. I'm like, okay, nah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I seen Nas. Look, you can't have a Wu-Tang show without Method Man, dog. I'm sorry.
He is Wu-Tang, man. So in my opinion.
Hardcore people will fucking argue, but he is.
No,
man.
He's the face of Wu-Tang.
He is the face.
He carried Wu-Tang for a long time.
Yeah.
Even towards the end, where all of the main ones everybody always bring up wasn't even on the songs. He carried, like, I think the last album they put out, he fucking carried that album.
Yes. And I would say he's the best performer out of all of them.
Yeah.
Like, I seen a solo Method Man show, him and one of his dudes. It wasn't a Wu-Tang guy, another guy, but.
Was it Redman?
No, it wasn't. No, definitely wasn't Redman. But he puts on a great show, man.
Yeah.
Like, he's doing crazy shit. He's really getting into it. No reference track, of course. And I think he's the best performer out of everybody in Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
So for him, he announced, like, there was some other shit going on. I guess he just didn't have to, like, he's got movies and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not going to go see Nas is great. I'll pay to see Nas and maybe, but just the Wu-Tang without Method Man.
Yeah.
How you going to perform You can't have a Wu-Tang song and not perform Method Man.
That's like Kool-Aid with no sugar, man. Peanut butter with no jelly.
Dog, these niggas gonna be rapping Method Man song without Method Man. That's one of the most iconic songs in Wu-Tang discography.
Yeah.
You cannot have a Wu-Tang show without the Method Man song.
Yeah.
With the intro, the RZA, the Jizza, Old Dirty Bastard, Inspector Deck, Raekwon the Chef, and MET. You can't not have that, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just getting pissed now.
Yeah.
About the sad state of rap performing in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So let's just end this by skimming some things that we didn't react to yet. There's some storylines that happened this past couple of weeks that we got to touch on at least a little bit. PNB Rock, man. It was a big story, of course. Everybody's probably heard of it by now. PNB Rock is an artist. Was an artist, was killed in a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles in LA. While he was eating dinner with his girl, this has spawned a whole lot of discussion on social media, check-in culture, why you don't go certain places. LA's hot. Jay Prince chimed in as well.
The girl got him
set
killed.
him up because she took a picture on Instagram and it had the location and blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's been a whole lot of talk. So I'm not going to tread all over that, but I'm just going to get your general feeling about it, man. How do you feel about the death of, first of all, were you a fan of PNB Rock? And how do you feel about the conversation about his death since it happened?
I was not a fan of PNB Rock. Like, I never really cared for his music like that. He kind of, to me, he was kind of in the category of a Lil Uzi a little bit. So, you know, it didn't really click with me. But of course, it was very unfortunate. LA is on fire right now. It seemed like a lot is going on. I know we say that about everywhere, but it seemed like a lot of people in LA keep saying, don't come to LA. Like, it's a reason why they're saying that. And it's very unfortunate. I thought it was nasty how people was, you know, blaming the girl. Like, you know how many people take pictures on Instagram? Like, I just don't, like, I don't think she had, if she set that man up, they would have found out by now. It would have been some type of phone number or some type of Instagram exchange saying, hey, we going to be here, or, you know, I just hate that we go back to the Twitter detectives just saying all this bullshit. I just hate that. I kind of felt bad for her because don't nobody want to go through that. See, and the worst part too was I actually ran across the video by mistake, and video was horrific. And I'm just like, damn, how, like, what in somebody's right mind, you know, want to record somebody sitting there dying like that? So it was rough, man. I feel bad for him. Prayers to his family and his girl.
Yeah. I mean, that's all I really have to say as well. Like, it's a sad situation all around. I just got sick really quickly of people blaming everybody but the niggas who killed him, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's what really, like, the fact that we should just accept things like this just happen. Yeah. You know, I don't care how many chains he had on. I don't care about the fancy car, unless he was like legit starting shit somewhere where he shouldn't have been. Yeah. I just don't see any defending a man getting robbed and killed for what he had in the hood, man. Like, look, it was just fucking, it was sad, man. And there's a whole lot of discussion going on about the fucking check-in shit and blah, blah. I don't really care to get into that right now. But it's just sad, man. I don't think we should ever normalize people getting robbed and killed, especially black people terrorizing each other like that, man. I don't think it should ever be normalized. I don't think we should ever just say that's just how it is. Like, look, man, if the music got to go because of it, the music got to go. That's where I'm at with it now. Like, fuck all this shit, dog. No, we should not have to fear each other going into different states or cities or whatever, man. It should not be like that. So I just don't like it.
Yeah, it's crazy because, like you said, nobody mentioned anything about the person who killed him. Everybody making excuses saying, oh, why would he wear his chain? And he should have just gave the chain up. He should have did this. Why is this girl there? Why he ain't got this? Where's the security? He should have been this, should have been that. Why you walking around flashy? Like, dog, like, he, like, I don't know. It's just crazy, man. Like, it's wild how people looking at everything else but the guy trying to, you know, kill, pretty much rob and kill him. So it's sad, man. Like, I'm not, look, me, I don't like to walk around looking all flashy either, but I should still be able to wear, you know, a chain or something. Like, it shouldn't be, like, I shouldn't get blamed for my death because I wore a gold chain or something. So it's just very unfortunate, man. It's really sad seeing these people, you know, get killed like that.
No, it is, man. And the conversation just gets corny quick with all these OGs normalizing it. Like, y'all supposed to be calling out the people doing this shit. Like, let's have the rappers, all the people who suddenly want to be nonviolence. we need y'all to speak up whenever shit like this happens, and don't say he shouldn't have been doing this or be
he
careful
shouldn't have been over there.
Yeah, nah, denounce all this shit. Where's 21 Savage's fucking statement? I didn't see anything by him. Maybe he did say something. I don't know, but I don't see everybody who just called for the end of the violence, man. This is some bullshit. It's going on too long, and we shouldn't have to just accept it like it's just a way of life. Yeah, I just don't want to accept that, man.
Unfortunately, and it's crazy because we had this conversation on this podcast many times, and we thought it was going to get a little better after the Nipsey.
Yeah,
but it got worse, man. You could argue say it's worse. He might have been the biggest artist that was killed, but this, it have not stopped since.
Yeah,
and it's actually getting normalized where I'm just like, damn. Like, it's not even hitting me as much now. Like, and I was familiar with this guy. I wasn't a fan of none, but I was familiar with when I seen that. I'm like, oh man. So it's kind of getting normalized to the point where, now people saying, don't wear your chain around in LA or stop going to LA. Like, we shouldn't be blaming this man for being in LA, being at a chicken and waffles. He wasn't like, it'd be one thing if he was and went to O Block or some shit and trying to talk shit. This man went to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. So I don't know. I just don't get that, man.
Yeah, no, it's lame shit, man. And yeah, there's just the normalization of it is just something I'm tired of. And like I said, I'm willing to cut bait with everything involved at this point. Like, fucking, if drill music got to go, it got to go, man. Like, fucking, I just don't like this normalization of Black death, especially over some goofy shit like this. But
yeah, I think it's people trying to be fake hard. Yeah, like trying to be a fake ass Cameron and Paid in Full. Trying to be like, oh, niggas get shot every day.
Yeah,
and that's not right, man. That's not right.
No, I agree. So rest in peace, and of course, thoughts with all his family and everybody. It's just a sad situation, man. Man was young. And did not deserve that for fucking just having a chain or whatever he had on. So ridiculous, but fuck it.
Yeah.
Other things that happened. Oh yeah, we got to talk about fucking Chloe Bailey, the new Little Mermaid. Have you seen all the reaction to her and this being Black girl magic? And we gotta support this like we did Black Panther because it's gonna be like the next big Black movie. And we got to make the racists mad by going to see this multi-million-dollar Disney movie. All the execs are white. Cashing in on one Black person in a white movie.
This is for Black folks, guys. We got to support our own.
How do you feel about the Chloe Bailey Little Mermaid drama?
I never watched Little Mermaid a day in my life.
Yeah.
So I ain't got no kids. So I'm not about to go see this movie, man. Look, I'm not ashamed of, watching cartoons or all this other shit. This ain't for me, man. I never watched it as a kid. I didn't even know. I mean, I knew Little Mermaid, but I don't know anything about Little Mermaid. I don't know her name. I don't know the characters in there. I never really cared for it, man. So I'll let y'all have this one.
I've seen Little Mermaid way too many times, unfortunately, because my mother and my sister love that movie, especially my mother.
So I know they about to go see it.
Then. Oh, yes, they definitely will. And they're going to take my niece and probably my nephews, too. We even had the Sega Genesis game.
I remember that game.
We had the game.
I knew somebody that had that game and played that game.
It was actually one of the easier games because we actually beat it. And back in the day, games were hard as fuck to beat.
I don't think I ever beat a game from back. The only game I did I beat a Zelda game.
Yeah.
But it was a couple other games I never beat. I don't think I ever beat a Mario game.
Mario's hard. Any game based on a movie was hard for some reason, man. We had the Lion King movie. That game is fucking hard, dog. I probably couldn't beat that today.
Damn.
Like, and even as a kid, it was super hard. So
did you have the Toy Story?
Yes, game? That game was impossible.
That game was insane, man. Because it was like one thing I appreciate about these games now, you can save your process and you can try again, but
Yes.
games, you got to sit there and beat it in one day.
Yes. Or you got what they had a long ass passcode that you had to write down. And if you got one letter wrong, it wouldn't work.
I don't even remember that, man.
A lot of games had a passcode system, but they had like a bunch of numbers and letters you had to write down.
Damn.
And luckily, if you were lucky, you had a fucking cheat book where you could just skip to the level.
Yeah.
To the end of the game. But otherwise, you had to write it down. If you got like a 0 and an O wrong or some shit, it wouldn't work and you're fucked. So
damn, man.
Yeah. Hard times, man. These kids don't know how easy they got it.
That Toy Story game was hard as fuck.
Every Disney game was hard as fuck, man. Aladdin was hard as shit. Lion King was fucking impossible. Toy Story was hard as fuck. Any Disney game, you knew you weren't gonna beat it. You're like, let me see what the graphics look like. I'll play the stage 3, maybe. Yeah. And I know I'm fucked.
Yeah, you'll get to like stage 4. Maybe on a good day, you'll be at like stage 5.
Yep, I never got this far on your last life and you immediately died.
Yeah, and you don't know what you're doing. And you fuck up and that's it.
Go all the way to the beginning.
Yes.
Yep. Shit's rough, man. Yeah. So about this fucking Little Mermaid movie, I don't care about it. And low key, look, I'm straight up starting to feel like corporations are taking advantage of, ooh, the racists are mad. Oh, like at this point, it's blatant, man.
Yeah.
Because with this Little Mermaid trailer, like all I saw was just Chloe. They didn't show like anything else in the movie. They didn't show what the other cast looked like. They didn't show the other water people. And you know why? It's because every time they show these things, people criticize, oh, the CG don't look good. It looked kind of weird. But now the only conversation is Chloe Bailey as Ariel from The Little Mermaid. Yeah. So now you got, all these racists are mad. Yeah. All you saw about the movie was a controversy.
Yeah.
We don't know nothing about the movie or how it's going to look, but we know it's going to suck because every live action remake has sucked so far. The Lion King sucked. Aladdin sucks. All these movies suck when they try to make it live action, but now they want to be like, oh, you can't hate on it because you're hating on the black Ariel and black people. So now you got to support it. Yep. I'm not falling for the band and tailpipe no more, man. Yeah. I'm going to go see Black Panther 2 and that's it. Okay, that's the last act of social activism I'm doing via media.
And we just need to see how it's going to wrap up, how they going to spin it.
Exactly.
Yeah. But no, I agree with you. And that's the one thing I always thought about. Like, I feel like white people and white corporations could have been capitalizing off of us by, changing the character and making them black. And then, I'm trying to think of let's say somebody like a story like Toy Story. Let's say they make a black Toy Story or some shit. Of course, some other people probably gonna be pissed off, but most likely you're gonna be like, oh shit, like let's support our own, black folks and all that stuff. But don't realize that, it's not even a black film.
It's not.
So I felt I'm surprised they just started doing this shit because they could have been doing this a long time ago, but now I guess they kind of see it, and it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, nah, they're definitely capitalizing on it now, man. They're just trying to spin it and get it as much positive publicity as they can. So now you can't hate on the movie. And they've been doing this not necessarily just race-wise, but with everything now. Yep. Oh, the Star Wars movie had a woman they didn't like. So everybody who hated the movie was sexist. Yeah. Oh, somebody didn't like this movie, so it was because they're racist because the guy's black or whoever. Like they've been trying to spin it so. And the same thing happened with She-Hulk. Yeah. People who complain about She-Hulk are just saying, oh, you must hate women. Oh, you must not like it when a woman has her own show. And it's like, come on, man. We got to be able to criticize things.
And see, and this is the other thing. Like, we talked about how, they might be using the black person to kind of create that controversy. They doing the same thing with, She-Hulk. They trying to get on the women's side. They trying to, they trying to be like that fucking politician. And try to get all these women, on board and try to
National She-Hulk Day.
Yeah. These companies know what they're doing, man. They the first Black Panther they released during Black History Month. Like they knew exactly what they was doing, man, and it worked.
It did.
It worked.
It worked on me.
It worked. Yeah, you was out there looking like Akeem and shit. So yeah, man, that shit worked out, and I was really surprised. A lot of corporations don't do that shit because to me, just supporting black anything or making something black, that's gonna sell us no matter what. We ain't gonna look and say, hey, this don't make sense. Now, sometimes it don't work out right when you have somebody like Walmart, putting out some
Juneteenth ice cream. Yeah.
Yeah. So, stuff like that might not work, but like name any movie and make the main character black and the original character was originally white. That's going to sell a black person real quick. Look, James Bond, they got that shit going again. So I seen a whole bunch of people. Yeah, I can't wait to see this. And they already like Idris Elba anyway.
Idris Elba's too old to be James Bond. People got to let that go. The man's almost like, 60 years old now?
I don't
let
know,
that
man.
dream die, man. He's too old to be Bond.
Hey, he was fighting the lion in the one movie.
Oh, God. Yeah, we can't have Idris Elba be Bond, man. Come on, man.
But see, little shit like that just going, white people might be mad or other. I ain't going to say just white people, but any James Bond fan might be pissed off about it, but they, that's going to sell them. And that's the same thing when you look at, remember the Men in Black, and they had the girl being part of the Men in Black.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know why they doing that, man. You know exactly why they doing that. They trying to get that female crowd that, hey, same thing with Ghostbusters. The Ghostbusters with all the women in it. Like they catching on now. They figure something out. They say, oh, black people support anybody that's black. So let's put a black actor right in front and capitalize off of it.
And take away any criticism because you can't hate on the Lion King because Beyonce was in it. So like, look, it's just disgusting to me at this point how they're weaponizing like racism and racist comments for promo for a fucking movie from $1 billion company. Yeah. It's just annoying. And it minimizes real issues that people face. So I'm just getting sick of it.
Yeah. I think the only way it's going to stop is if let's say the Lil Mer, I hope it don't flop. Now,
it's not going to flop. It's going to do numbers.
Yeah. But if let's say, they did do that and it did flop, then they probably would stay away from that. They probably won't do that again. But it's not going to flop because our people going to go out there and support it. They're going to, which they should. I ain't telling people not to go see it. But, just remember you saying, hey, let's support a black, mermaid. Look who created that movie.
Yes.
Look who's behind that movie. Is Disney. I think it's Disney, right?
Yes.
It's Disney. And, Disney is connected with all these different places where, we had issues at ESPN and all that stuff. It's all the same shit at the end of the day.
No, definitely, man. So, yeah, it's all just annoying to me, but whatever. It's never going to stop. It's only the beginning of it, man. I tell everybody, like, the world's only get worse in this aspect of media and pandering and bullshit. We ain't seen the end yet, man. It's only gonna get worse, but whatever. It is what it is.
It's gonna get super bad, man.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna see some more ignorant stuff where you be like, wow, did this company really just do this?
Yep.
So yeah,
people getting see. That's why I'm shooting the politician who was talking about Nia Long. I'm shooting him some bail. Yeah, it's like, look, this shit been going on for a long time, man. We have politicians talking about WAP, the Cardi B song. Remember this shit? Yeah. Like, look, how is this any worse than that?
Yeah.
Y'all done had Lil Baby on panels, man. Like, y'all are not serious people no more. Don't come to us and like, look, that's all I'm saying. Politics, everything is just this now. Yeah. Everything is this now. So I'm just not surprised by any of it anymore. I'm just getting sick of it, but that's just me.
Yeah.
I think that's about wraps it up. You have anything else you want to touch on real quick, man?
Real quick. I don't know if you've seen this, but Quinta Brunson won an Emmy.
Oh yeah, good for her. I saw that.
Yeah. So she but that wasn't the storyline.
Of course, Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah, I saw that.
Laying on the ground. Thoughts?
I mean,
was this an overreaction or the right reaction?
It was one of those things where it's like, and this is one of those things where people like from a logical perspective, you can say, oh, there was nothing behind that. But then you look back and it's like, it seems like every time somebody black is in its position, some weird shit happens. Yeah. Like, remember Moonlight winning, but they gave it to fucking La La Land first because the guy didn't read it right. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. And now you have this where a monumental Emmy for somebody who deserved it. Who wrote
the Abbott Elementary? I almost said Greg Abbott. Who wrote Abbott Elementary? Yeah. She created it, starred in it, and won the Emmy. Yeah.
And then you have this goofy shit happening. Like, I don't think that was necessarily his intent at all, because, you know, she did get the payback. She went on his show and like interrupted him and all that shit. So they made like a little fun bit out of it. But it was just, when you look at it, it's like, can we just have a normal moment? Yeah. Can we have a fucking Oscars without some crazy shit? I mean, I get, to be fair, not everybody gets slapped every year. But like, this was supposed to be like the Black Oscars where all this shit happened. Then we got Chris Rock and Will Smith slapping each other. Well, Chris Rock getting slapped. Yeah. But, and then we had this happen. Then we had the moon. Like, it's just like, why can't we just have a normal ass celebrate what we've done and these great Black creators without some weird shit taken away from it? Yeah. That's just how I feel at this point, man. Like, let's just have a normal ass Black people event or whatever it is. So it's just getting silly.
Yeah, I agree. I did like, when I didn't see it live, obviously, but I saw the clips, and to be honest, I looked at it, I'm like, man, I'm not about to waste my energy on this shit, man. This looked like a stupid ass joke, a joke that wasn't even funny. I'm like, man, this ain't taking away from her winning this at all. Like, I think, you know, I was proud as hell. I was happy. But I'm like, man, I see a lot of people just spending too much energy on this and all this other shit. I'm just like, man, I don't care, man. I'm still ready for Abbott Elementary to come back. Yeah. And it actually came back, I want to say on Wednesday. So
yeah. But no, I'm happy for her, man.
Yeah, no,
that's good win, good show.
Yep.
So yeah, shout out to her, shout out to the show, shout out to everybody involved. And yeah, it's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Anything else we miss? I'm looking for breaking news just in case some shit happened that we didn't.
Yeah, around this time, always some crazy shit happen.
Yeah, that we don't get to talk about. I was reading the scroll and I saw that Traded Truth gave Dave Chappelle a $25K chain.
Yeah.
What's with this trend of
giving chains?
Not just that, like you giving something to somebody who makes way more than you. And like, because this reminds me of like Lil Baby
giving James Harden like 100,000.
Yes, dog. This nigga makes like 4 times as much as you do.
He made 40
million a season.
Almost 50 a season. 50 mil a season.
And now I don't care what Lil Baby says. There's no way he's making near that much.
Yeah.
So I know he got a lot of deals and endorsements and shit, but look.
Like, no, nigga gotta give me some money.
James Harden ain't in no 360 NBA deal, okay?
Yeah.
So
all his money is coming straight to him.
For the most part. I mean, there's taxes and shit, but I mean, yeah, he's in New Jersey now. So yeah, he's getting taxed kind of heavy. But I mean, I don't understand the like, what is Dave Chappelle gonna do with a 25K ain't shit to Dave Chappelle, man. Come on now, dog. Yeah. I just don't understand that.
I don't get it either.
So yeah, and Trey got a lot to answer for. He need to spend that 25K on I don't know, something for zero. I don't know. He got a lot to answer for.
Yeah. James Earl Jones.
I did see that he's officially stepping away. I mean, from Darth Vader.
I ain't gonna lie. The first thing I seen was his name. And I was like, oh no, he gone.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I thought, but he just retired. So he's still hanging around.
He is 91 years old. I was actually surprised they used his voice in that last Obi-Wan show because I was like, there's no way James Earl Jones still sounds the same. I mean, this is the movie that came out in 1979, dog.
Yeah.
And now he's 91 years old. This show just came out. I was like, I think they've been using some AI type technology stuff, and they have a bunch of stuff from him so they can like use his lines and his voice in the future. Yeah. But I mean, he's 91 years old, man. I'm sure he doesn't have that much time left. So it was definitely bound. I was surprised he even lasted this long, to be honest.
Me too.
But yeah, shout out to James Earl Jones, man. It's one of the best to ever do it in film. So it's gonna be sad when he passes, man. I usually say, so what? Somebody was old, so who cares? But I mean, James Earl Jones is a legend, man.
He been around for a long time. Been around a lot of shit. Like, I wasn't even a Star Wars fan. And, you know, that was probably one of his biggest roles.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
And, you know, I never watched Star Wars like that. But, you know, he was still a big part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You know, Coming to America and all type of other shows and movies. So, man.
Yeah. So, shout out to him, man.
The legendary voice.
Yep. Yeah, one of the greatest. Ain't never gonna be another one like him.
Yeah, him and Morgan Freeman still kicking.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Anything else? I'm scrolling through. I think that about does it. Probably. Let me take one more skim at the timeline. I mean, what are we at now? Almost 3. Okay, we got at least go to 3 hours since we already did an extra long podcast.
Yeah, ask the podcast anything. What y'all got for us?
I think they all sleep now, man. It's fucking 11:30 at night.
I know.
They're like, these niggas still talking.
Yeah, and if you're in Cleveland, it's 12:30.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap this one out, y'all. Appreciate everybody on the stream checking us out. Everybody who chimed in. Of course, our day one buddy Tab. Drunk coming through as well. Holly Richard Worshipper coming through on Twitch. Anybody else I missed? Oh yeah, at the beginning we had Pablo Fernandez. Mook Montonio came through. What up, Mook?
Yeah.
Ernesto. Everybody who came through for the stream. We appreciate y'all. Remember, check us out streaming around 8-ish every Friday, for the most part every Friday. And yeah, we do the live stream thing on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. Hit us up there. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. Appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Until next time, stream folks. Salute.
Peace.